Hi, folks. As many of you know, I am off work until the 16th of October. So I just wanted to do like a brief, well, I don't know if it's going to be brief. My plan is that it's going to be a brief live just to check in on folks and just see what people are feeling and thinking. I also just got tagged in Caroline's post, just her letting us know that she was again stepping away from the platform. So I just, it's such an interesting thing. Let me tell you. Let me give you a little bit of a background of how I ended up, on this platform and doing what I'm doing right now. Cindy, hi. You said blah, blah, blah was the best. I just wanted to share a little bit. As many of you know, especially those that have followed me for a while now, especially during this last month. Hi, Paula. One of my closest friends died on September 27th. His funeral is this Thursday. But I always said that the reason my TikTok existed was because I needed a distraction. And so I started doing this stuff. I never expected it to become what it has become. Hi, Coco. And so when I first came in, it was really so fun. Like, people were so lighthearted. People were united. People were like just enjoying life. And I don't know where it took a turn. You feel sad, Day? I'm so sorry to hear that. Hi, Amini. Ameni? Maybe it's Ameni. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. Thank you, watching lady, for the gift. So good morning, Mandy. I definitely came in. Oh, Mel from South Africa. Hi. Yeah, I definitely came into this fandom for just fun, for community. Watching lady said, hello, how are you? Watching lady, I am somewhat baffled and confused by the state of the fandom, to be honest. Day said all the Lucala creators are saying goodbye. I think we're all Lucala creators to some degree are like in a place of trying to evaluate what is the proper course of action. So Love 727, hey. Hi, Ronnie. Thank you for the daily heart me. Watching lady said, I'm still confused a little bit. I'm also confused, watching lady. And is it a many, or can you do like a phonetic way of saying your name so I'm not butchering it? Indeed, it was really fun. Everything was much better than now. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's whenever things get too like heavy on a topic that's not genuinely heavy. So it is that wrestling that ends up happening, wondering like what in the world is the proper thing to do, the proper course of action. M. Fonticiella said the proper course of action should be accepting they aren't together. I mean, M. Fonticiella, I see, the thing is, I've always accepted they aren't together. I mean, as a Lucala shipper, my whole thing was I believe they can be endgame. There was never a time that I thought they were together. I understand, though, probably you're saying that because there were a segment of the fan base that did believe they were together. Probably that's what you're talking about. But I've always believed that they're not together. I've always wanted them to be together and believe that they could be together if they wanted to be. But again, they have their own autonomy. They have their own choices. It is their life to live. So that's never been like a question for me, at least, of like, they have the right to make the decisions that they're going to make. I'm going to support them because the reason I followed them in the first place and became a Lucala shipper was because I like them as people and as actors. But at the end of the day, their personal decisions about their personal lives don't have a direct impact on my own. Megan said, yay, finally I catch you. Hi, Phoebes. Hi, Megan. Kay said is very sad and feels heavy right now with creators jumping ship. I mean, I think probably that's probably an act of love for Nicola, and wanting to, even if the intent wasn't negative, or like wasn't to do any, it's so hard, right? Because you have like, you being the collective you, not you specifically, but like us as a people, I guess. You can have like your own intention and your own lightheartedness, but then there might be folks that take it an extra level sometimes. Sue says, I think they just want and need some privacy, and some fans are just taking it too far. I agree, Sue. And it's so hard, right? Because that's the buffering that ends up happening. How does other people, because other people's actions do, even if it's not your own, it gets connected because we're all part of the same community. Even if there's factions or fractions, I don't know. Like, even though things have been split. Bam says, I've wondered if they played up chemistry for ratings and it created this frenzy that backfired. Bam's, this is obviously only a personal opinion. But my personal opinion has always been they were not playing it up. I personally have always believed that is their like natural chemistry. And the reason I even say that is because their chemistry grew as they spent more time together. I don't think that they were trying to create a tizzy or a frenzy. I think it naturally happened because people love and loved seeing them interact. I think that that's just what it comes down to. But I don't think that there was any ill motives to manipulate people's feelings. And I think some people really walked away feeling like their emotions were manipulated, but I don't know if that's really what happened, more than they were just existing as two friends that have been together for 5 years. I will say one of my famous sayings, not famous sayings, one of my favorite sayings is that, Kat says, I'm still standing on what I saw during their PR tour, and that wasn't just PR. I agree, Kat. You know, what I will say is that one of my favorite things to say is that every emotion is valid. It's just the information that informs that emotion that may be incorrect. So there's a lot of like feelings people are having. Their emotions are valid. It's just usually there's a narrative or a story behind that emotion that might be true, might not be true. Angela said they have a great relationship and true love for each other. I don't think it was PR. Yeah. And I mean, and one of the things I say to people all the time is like, PR is literally when they were on the clock doing stuff. But how they showed up as people, that was just how they showed up as people. They just happened to be doing it while they were doing PR. But they would show up that way in general because that was just the dynamic of their friendship. It just happened to be on camera, you know? Not just happened to be. Obviously, they were doing PR at that moment, so they were going to be on camera. Hey, Tam. Julie said green is a good color for you. Oh, thanks. I will make note of that. Which actually, Julie, that makes me smile big time. You know why? Chad's favorite color was green. So I may just get more green just because I know it was his favorite color. And you said it looks good on me. So thank you. And Fontesiala said a lot of the fandom doesn't. A lot of the fandom doesn't accept that they're not together. Is that what you're saying? Day said, I love Luke and Nick with all my heart, but I'm off the ship. I mean, Day, this is what I always say all the time, is that people need to always make the decision that's right for them. Anytime ever anyone tells me they're getting off the ship, I'm like, I totally understand. You got to do what you got to do for yourself. Watching Lady said, I believe that even if they have the feelings, they cannot be ready to risk it. They are still co-stars. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know if anyone would feel comfortable pursuing it at this point. It's so big. Like, the things are big. And I've recognized that, you know, like I've said in the past, like the existence of my account, some people will always have, will feel a particular way about it. And it just depends on like what's driving their emotions around like what they think can be or cannot be discussed. That's why I said I have to do my own soul searching about like what I feel comfortable with, what I can, you know, what I can talk about, where I can still feel like I am living into like what I think is right. Which I recognize everybody's going to have a different take on what that means. Thank you for the Daily Heart Me, Angela. Love underscore Lucala said, which creators are going? I don't know. Probably some folks can tell you. I just know that Caroline just posted a message stating, I think another time off the platform. I never know fully if that's ever going to be forever, because sometimes, you know, a little bit of time and distance, people come on back. It's happened. So, but for right now, I believe Caroline's planning to get off the platform again. SEI, not SKI, said, I think we all, myself included, should only look at only facts and not look into everything. Bam said, I've wondered if they, oh wait, no, I read that already. Sorry, Bams. Leanne said, I'm so happy. I've been at work all day. You're like, I didn't know any of that things were happening. I'm a happy camper for that. Paul and Season said, would you please be able to talk about my apology? Sure, Paul and Season. What about your apology would you like to have be discussed? Sue said, I think they just want and need some oh, I read that too. You said only if you want to, of course. Paul and Season, I mean, absolutely. I'm open to that because you're the one who was there, who took the video. You apologize. I read your apology. I understood where you were coming from. And you seem very apologetic. So, I'm just going to say, Paul and Season, though, I am always behind. So hopefully my mods, if there's something that you're responding, can like pin it, because I'm usually running like way behind on comments. And I like to read everybody's comments for the most part. Not everything, but almost everything. Rin S.A. said, I saw someone message ask, where is Luke? Because he's nowhere to be found. Yes, he did say BRB, and we have all different definitions of BRB apparently. Leanne Thorpe said, don't really know what's going on. I mean, sometimes ignorance is bliss. Sometimes, I guess. M. Fonticiela said, Luke has really taken a beating just trying to live his life apart from Bridgerton. Yes, it's made me sad. I always felt like it was much higher than the moment required. I understood people were mad about the timing of the Pap Gate and all that stuff, but like people really didn't want to move past it, and then like colored everything he did under that moment. Watching Lady says, sometimes it's hard to distinguish between friendship and romantic love. Maybe because there is a lot of overlap. Possibly. Bessie Boo said people took speculation as fact and went too far with it. Millie said, they have taken it far since premiere night in London. So Love 727 said, yes, they need some privacy. How do they do that? Bam said, no more Bridgerton tours, please. LOL. I don't think, here's the thing. Bridgerton tours are their jobs, right? I think this is again where the fudging is happening for folks. Bridgerton is still work related. Paulin is still work related. Lucala, though, is not. Bam said, Luke went from BRB to BBL after this, LOL. Wait, what's BBL? What does BBL mean? Mackie Rach said, I'm so torn. I mean, she was in New York City. Did she not expect pics? She mad about pics or narrative? People are having discussions about what they think she is upset about. The genuine answer I have is, show me said BBL is be back later. Okay, gotcha. I don't personally know what my thoughts are. I don't know if it's the act of filming, like a video. I don't know if it's because it took a wildfire and things were being said on other platforms that she felt might be negative. I don't know if she was exposed to that enough to know that was happening. I don't know if it was because it was posted in real time. Like, there's so many. I actually wanted to ask people what they felt like was the main motivator for what she was upset about. Because obviously, understanding why she was upset is the thing that will then determine how people move forward. Like, obviously, does that mean you don't ever discuss anything except things that are formally from like work related stuff, which typically that's what my content has been. I've never really I've discussed what other people have discussed that's outside of the things that they post, but typically my posts have been related to things that they specifically post themselves, because that I can trust because it comes from their mouths. But I don't know the answer to that, Mackie Rach. I think that people are running with their theories on that. But I don't have a particular one myself, simply because I don't feel like I have enough information to understand why this moment was different for her. Except maybe people have said that she's incredibly private about her romantic relationships. And maybe that was a way of saying, like, you don't get to share this. But other people read it as if she's saying that it's not a romantic relationship. And that's why she was mad that people were assuming it was. So see how people can look at the same information and totally arrive to different conclusions? That's the thing. Also, Paul and Season, nobody has pinned anything for me to read. So I'm hoping that you're not like saying stuff and I'm not seeing it, because again, I'm so behind. I'm at 99 plus new messages behind. So just know that I'm not ignoring you. It's just people know that I typically like just go down my comment sections. Kat said, I'm still standing on, oh wait, no, I read that already. Bam said maybe one friend zoned the other and we just don't know. Ameni said, I got used to read fanfics every night, but yesterday I couldn't. I can't help with my sad feelings. Angela said, we see what we see. Good evening, Rin S.A. I'm good morning over here, but good evening for you. Millie said, actors are different relationship. Even Lukey said, actors are very touchy. Megan says that's what happens when we put our emotions on them. They have great chemistry and friendship. Day said, Nick said it was love, what we were seeing. Ameni said, we saw so many things and they did love each other, but they moved on so far. Watching Lady said, I believe that even if they have feelings, I already read that one, sorry. Bessie Boo said, as much as I want them together, they said they love each other. I'm content with that right now. Tammy said, I feel like after what happened, we may not get to see Nick and Luke post like they just did for a while. Megan said, if they want to be more, if they aren't, they will in their time, or be great friends for life. Angela said, I'm not leaving. I'm just planning to only post Bridgerton stuff for a while. Yeah, I think some people are not necessarily leaving the platform, more than rebranding to some degree or rechanging their content focus. Rin S.A. said, I saw someone message at... Oh, wait. I read that one also already. Okay. Sue said, all of this could have been avoided if they just said from the jump they had relationships. Okay. Paul and Season said they were holding hands before I even moved from the theater crowd and before I started filming. Okay. Wombat 6 says, Sue, in regards to your, it could have all been avoided if they said from the jump they had relationships. Probably. The question was, did they have relationships at the time? I don't know. Or did they have relationships that they really wanted to make public at the time? Maybe it was so brand new, they didn't want to necessarily say something was an important relationship if it hadn't been established to be that way yet. And then, so I don't know, but possibly. I mean, I can see your point with that statement. Wombat 6 says, I'm not making any decisions about anything for a while. I'm just going to sit with all of this for a while. Sasaleya said, one wanted kids, the other doesn't. I am not sure if, how did you know? Was that a conversation that they had in an interview? Because I don't know if I've definitively ever heard that reasoning coming out of their mouths. But definitely kids are always a good conversation whenever you're thinking about pursuing a relationship. So I'm not saying it's not a valid conversation to have. I just hadn't heard that before as something that they've officially put on record as something that they discussed, unless that was just kind of like your theory. Kat said, I do miss Luke. LMAO. Um, Bessie Boo said Luke has gone missing again. LOL. But I mean, I don't blame him. He's probably watching the storm and like going, I relate with you heavy, Nicola, because he's endured it all summer long, and even before the summer, right? Because he was getting people being hard on him because of his character from the end of season 2. So he's never had it fully let up on him. Shelly says someone suggested that he meant BRB, but when the Nick post came, he held off potentially. Probably. So Love 727 said, life is lifing. That's what's going on. Paul and Lucullus Sarah said, Luke is in New York. Phoebes, in my stories, I have 2 readings. You must watch. Oh, I'm sorry. I know people have given me a lot of those things. As folks know, I'm not, like, that's not my thing necessarily. And usually they're long. So I apologize that I rarely do actually make time to watch those things. Sometimes people need to just give me a synopsis because it's not my natural inclination. But I appreciate that people really love, like there's a portion of my audience that absolutely loves those things. And, but it's just, I usually have only time for like snippets, and those tend to be like, I don't know, double-digit minutes. Megan said, we need to focus on what Luke and Nicola post, and everything else needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Paul and Season said, most importantly, I want to say that I'm sorry about every single decision that led to those videos. I mean, Paul and Season, sometimes that's all we can do, right? We can look at what we did and look at things in hindsight and learn from it. Watching Lady said, Luke doesn't know what BRB means, and Nicola doesn't know what a vacation means. Give them a dictionary. That's funny, Watching Lady. Oh, but obviously Watching Lady's joking, because I know that there's some people that took my statement about the holiday really seriously and said, how dare you basically say that Nicola's, like, why are you questioning Nicola's use of words or something? I was like, look, we can have different definitions of a holiday. To me, a holiday does not have anything work related. I'm off the grid but I get it. I was thankful for every person that actually just answered my question and explained why this was a vacation for Nicola. Paul and Season said Nicola has every right to want privacy, even being famous. Absolutely agree. Nicola is creating a boundary for future reference. It is not just about this instance. Paul and Season, I really like that insight, because I think you're right. I think she realized that if she was gonna get a chance to like put a stake in the sand, like your video just happened to be the thing that triggered it, or not triggered it, but was like used as the example of like what she does not want to happen. But it is more of a future reference. Like, please don't do this in the future. Unfortunately, will there be people who will still choose to invade that privacy? Most likely. But it is, again, that question that the fan base has around, like, will we, the fan base around, will we, oh my word. I got sidetracked. Okay, I'm hopefully I can remember what I was going to say. But Griffin said, everyone being rude to Paul and Season needs to self-reflect, because you all watch videos dissecting. Oh, are people being rude to Paul and Season in the chat? Hopefully not. What? Are people being rude? Please don't be rude to somebody. I mean, there's already been like an apology. It's hard, right? So, again, sometimes people don't accept people's apologies. But how can anybody move forward, really, except to take ownership and say I messed up. Like, we all mess up once in a while. And I just feel like sometimes it's like, I think sometimes we don't even know the weight of a moment. Watching Lady said, okay, let's stop being rude from this point. No one is perfect. I mean, genuinely, like, I don't know. It's hard when you all you can do is make different decisions in the future. This is the reason why I'm like, are the same people who are like, this was wrong, does that mean that there is a commitment from folks from this point forward to not look at anything at all, when it's not something that is literally on Nicola's account, you know? The Bridgerton writes that I appreciate the apology. There's a bigger problem in the fandom. There was a lot of dots on that. So interesting. It's like a little cliffhanger, but all I will say is that you know, people are going to take away different lessons from what Nicola chose to put, but it did make a difference. Her saying that did make a difference on how people chose to look at that video and chose to reinterpret their understanding of that video. And so I would think that it would hopefully keep people from wanting to necessarily look at other stuff that's not directly from their pages or things that they have wanted to communicate to the fan base. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Jan said being chased down the street. So here's the thing. I have heard this. And I don't know where that narrative came from, only because I have never seen the actual footage of it. Paul and Season said I did not chase her. Nobody chased her. Okay. Show Me said I think it was a timing. It was real time. Glenda said I think it's because they followed her for at least a block. Paul and Season said that's important. Y'all know. Show Me said that's scary. Okay, here's the question. I guess I have for folks is how did people know? Like what? Okay, and maybe again, I didn't pursue to see the video. I saw one video, right? And the video that I saw, they were just casually walking. So I didn't see this chasing thing. Now I understand that other people did. They looked at the same video and saw terror and fear and all of these things that I can't say that I do see that. Because I can't say that I see something that I don't see. So I was like, I don't know. Like maybe there's a different angle that I needed to see, but I don't want to be seeing because it's not my place. Like we're trying to move on from like looking at stuff and, you know, whatever. So I just don't know. However, I didn't know where this chasing happened that people were saying was happening. Because the video that I saw, there was nobody really near them. And they were just walking. And they seemed happy. I mean, that's all I really saw at that moment. I just thought she didn't want necessarily that happy moment to be broadcast to the world. Watching Lady said, I think that both Nicola and Luke know what is going on online. I think so. And I feel bad that she felt the need to interrupt her holiday to discuss it, you know? Mackie Rach said, I think it's video versus pics she's upset about. I feel like there's a part of that too, because definitely there have been pictures that have gone out, right? The festival went out. She didn't make a post about that at that time. I think it was when the video came out. Maybe it felt, again, maybe more intimate because, like I said, she has said in an interview that walking hand in hand to her is love. And I don't know, again, so this is the thing, like, and I know that me even saying this might split the fandom again or get people mad at me because there are some folks that are like, that's not the narrative. Like, that's the narrative that she's fighting against, that she doesn't want people to think that she's in a relationship with Jake. And other people are like, no, the reason she's doing this is because she is in a relationship with Jake. You know what I'm saying? And I said, Phoebe's all perception. People will always see things differently. Yes, it's always about perception. And yet at the same time, there is a truth that is actually somewhere in between, or maybe not even in between. That might be actually more one than the other. And that's the thing. It's like, it's so hard to know. Only Nicola and Jake can say what they were actually feeling at that moment. The Bridgerton Ride said, we all need to unite that stalking is not okay, period. I agree, Bridgerton Ride. I guess the question is, was there a stalking that happened? I think like that's a heavy word because I know that there's people that sometimes are just out and about, and like something that was like 5 seconds, or I don't know how long this video was. I have no idea. It's different than like someone like literally following them wherever they went. Is that what happened? Did they get stalked? They left the theater and they were followed all day long? Is that what happened? Or was there a brief video that should not have been taken that has been apologized for already? Again, not that it makes everything better just because an apology was issued, but what else can the person do once the damage has been done, except to take responsibility and accountability and hopefully be serving as an example in the future so that people will not do the same thing? I guess is my question. But obviously stalking will always not be correct. It will always not be right. Helen79 said sharing real-time location and continuity videotape in my opinion. Joe said I think it was being followed and filmed. SEI, not SKI, said, I think for private moments, she would prefer to be in control if she wants to take pics. Yeah. I think that's another thing. Like, she doesn't want people telling the story that she wants to be able to tell for herself. Paul and Season said it's about her having an expectation of people being decent human beings and not filming her. Helen79 said, continuing to videotape. And Paul and Season said, without consent. Yeah. Kat says she just looks like she's running late to dinner, as Paul and Season explained. Oh, yeah. That's another thing that was discussed in the apology from Paul and Season, is that she had turned down, I think she had turned down, I forgot what she turned down when she was asked for something. I forgot. And communicated that it was because they were running late as they were heading to dinner. Griffin said, someone on Instagram posted from the play that Nicola was there. That's how people knew the location. I do recall seeing that. And again, not the smartest decision. I don't know if that person ever apologized for doing that, or at least recognized that that was really something that caused more people to be interested and go to that area, waiting for them to come out. It's not the smartest ever. Again, I think sometimes as people, we don't, and myself included, realize what the impact might be. It's so hard because there's personal responsibility, but there's also like, it's so hard. Every person's responsible for their own actions, and yet you can still, I guess, affect other people's and influence other people's. I don't know. It's always a struggle bus. Watching Lady said, one, they have feelings, but they decided not to show them because they have to film together. Oh, okay. Luke and Nicola, you're saying? Hey, Shame.Spiral. Stick says, it's within celebrity culture to be filmed and or photographed if a public figure is in public. Watching Lady said, too, if it doesn't work out, everything could be ruined. Yeah, I mean, I think there's always that consideration anytime. Ameni said, Nick wants privacy about her love life, and they did compromise that privacy, maybe. Carla says, I think she's afraid of upsetting fans, and unfortunately, it leads her to be vague with what she wants. Thank you, Christy J, for the gift. Bessie Boo said, I just want to know what the black dress picture was about. The black dress picture. What's the black dress picture? Like the one that they're outside? Of the hotel? Not hotel. I don't know where they were outside of. Cassie.Renee, hi. Rose said, I think she was taken by surprise, and an anxious person can get more overwhelmed than others. Is she an anxious person? Or are you talking about something else? C said, with that kind of pics, it felt way too invasive. Same with Luke in Italy photos. Show Me said she grabbed his hand because people were following her. That's how I see it. Janine_on_the_coast. I think people have created different events in their head and shared it as facts. I mean, I do agree with that. I think, okay, that's the MUA shared. MUA shared? What's that mean? What's MUA? I'm so bad sometimes with these acronyms. But I do think to some degree that's the case, Janine, because again, I say every emotion is valid. It's just the information that informs that emotion that may be incorrect. And I think it depends sometimes on whether or not people want to consider whether, oh, makeup artist. Okay, gotcha. I think it comes down to whether people want to consider that she is with Jake as more than just a friend. And so because some people might, if people are more likely to not believe that's the case, then there has to sometimes a different explanation as to what was happening. Sometimes it's necessary. But for me, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw two people that seemed to enjoy each other's company, I guess. And so I guess I didn't see the same thing. It doesn't mean that I am right. I could be wrong. I could be missing all the signs of stress and fear. But I guess I just didn't see it. Ameni said, yes, Phoebe, it's the black dress with the ring. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Styx says if she wants privacy about her love life, she can't be out in public holding hands. What a sad life. If that's, it's like, that's so sad. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but yet I think that's so sad to say, well, I guess you can never show anything. Jan said she is an introvert. She said crowds overwhelm her. That's such a sad existence. If people tell you just, you can't ever show anything because you're going to get exposed and that you just got to take it. Gosh, that's so sad. Even if you're saying what life is the reality of, it's just such a sad existence. Like, that's why I feel like some people don't want to ever be famous. Like, why would you want to be famous if that's the kind of life people are relegating you to? Lacey said, question for Paul and Season. Were you there because you saw the post of her being at the play? Oh, that's a great question. Sue said, fame and privacy is tricky, but some people can accomplish it, but it's hard. Rena said, ma'am, she's rich and famous, far from a sad life. I hear what you're saying, Rena. Like, that's the assumption that people think all the time, right? A lot of people, that's not the case. They can be rich and famous and don't want to even live this life and take their lives, you know? I mean, I'm not trying to be like morbid, but I'm just saying, like, if people thought rich and having money and being famous is the end all be all of what makes a happy life, there's so many famous people that will tell you otherwise, and their life has shown otherwise. At the end of the day, people want to do the thing that they love, and that thing that they love happened to make them rich and famous. But they don't want, when people are like, they want both things, of course they want both things. They want to be able to do the thing they love and not have to deal with all these negative things of like losing their ability to just exist as a human being and love life. There is something very shackling about people saying that once you've hit a certain level, that you shouldn't expect anything that regular human beings would want for themselves. I don't know where we have made a decision as a social contract, like a social contract, to say if you want to be rich and famous, you lose everything else. Melissa said, I don't think they should assume because they are celebs that we get to film, photograph, just because they are in public. We wouldn't want that, especially real time. I mean, I think there's always this friction in people's minds, right? Like in my mind as well. Like, how many times have I looked at something very casually and didn't really think about how might that person genuinely feel about like this photo being out there or this video being out there or whatever. So I own my own hypocrisy at sometimes having almost like a I got used to just that's the way it is. But the more that celebrities speak out against it, the more I do sit and think about, does it have to be this way, or can we change the rules of engagement? And Philip says, "Hey, yo, how long y'all been in here?" I'm not sure how long I've been here. I'm Phillips. Hey, Cals Bells. Janine _the coast said, "Why do they need to tell us about their private lives?" Do they need to? Are people saying that? It's so hard to answer that, Janine, because I think people are always curious, right? But need is such a deep word, because rarely is it a need. It's just a want or a desire or a curiosity thing. But I don't think anybody ever needs to do any of those things. Millie said they don't owe anyone an explanation about their private lives. That's entitlement. Yeah, I mean, and I think sometimes, honestly, that every time somebody says, like, they don't owe you anything, like on my comment section, I literally want to pull my hair out, because I'm like, who says they owe us anything? But then I realize that usually people are writing this in my comment section, not for me, because I don't think they owe me an explanation. I just get tired of reading it personally, just because I'm like, why are people saying this in my comment section? I'm not asking for an explanation. But then I realize it's because they're trying to say it to some people who I guess feel like they're owed an explanation, I guess. But I mean, I tell you, sometimes but anyways, that's just a pet peeve of mine, just because I'm like, oh my word, can we just stick to the actual content of my post? But I get it. People are trying to like let other people know. But the thing is, I think most people know that, though, that nobody owes anybody an explanation. Just because nobody owes any people an explanation doesn't mean that people don't want one, you know? Shame.spiral said, not everything is black and white. There are nuances that not everyone understands. True. Stick says understandable, probably in regards to the other stuff that I read earlier. Ma6 says they don't need to tell us about their private lives, but less ambiguity could settle things down. This is true. I mean, that's just the reality. Once people get an answer, they're like, okay. Whisker Floofs, thank you for the gifts. Emily said, okay. I think this is a perception statement. I understand why this might have been a perception that you had. You said the apology's weird, you want attention, and to make yourself feel better for Nick calling you out. I mean, would it have been better that she didn't apologize? I think the apology, Lala1083 said, if they were together, then clearly they don't care who knows, because why hold hands in public then? Okay, but look, I'm going to sit a little bit on what Emily said here. Did she want attention and to make yourself feel? I mean, I think she did make the apology to make herself feel better for Nick calling her out. I would want to apologize too, because I would have felt bad if I had done the same thing. I would have felt bad, wanted to address. I actually respected her for putting out that apology as quickly as she did and taking ownership, because some people don't take ownership of making a bad decision. They just like say whatever, who cares? But she actually did care, and she did feel bad. I don't know if that's wanting attention more than wanting to rectify an issue that they created unintentionally or intentionally. I don't know. I don't think, I think unintentionally, you know, it's like, I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I thought the apology was weird personally, though. I thought it was actually admirable. I respected it because, again, some people wouldn't even address it when they make a mistake. They just hope that it blows over. And she didn't even need to call herself out. I mean, who wants to be connected to that? But the fact that she was willing to take ownership and accountability for that, I thought props. Watching Lady said, I think they were surprised with their feelings. Styx says the problem is they encouraged the ship and leaned into it hard, and now they have these rabid fans. Oh, gosh. Styx, I mean, I hear what you're saying. The difficulty about that really is, again, those lines, right? Where does personal accountability and responsibility come into play? Sure, they said they had no problem with the shipping during the PR tour, right? But fans, we all have choices to make of how we go heavy on it or not. Pet said Nicola is very social media savvy. What does she think would happen posting the airplane pic after Luke's BRB? I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't. I understand why the fan base thought what they did. I mean, Kay said the deleting has me confused. Why not let it stand? Is that in regards to the videos? I think that people just started taking it off because they wanted to respect what Nicola had stated in the post. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but that's my best guess. Cassie said there's definitely a lot of thoughts and feelings right now. Shame.Spiral said if they go underground, whose fault is it? We all know the answer. Watching Lady said, but they also know that even after World Tour, fans won't stop shipping them. I mean, true. If they go underground, whose fault is it? We all know the answer. Again, life is full of choices, and it's probably an accumulation of things, to be honest, Shame.Spiral. I don't know if it's just one fault more than it's an accumulative thing. Megan said Luke and Nicola know what they posted. They know what they are doing. Millie said it is a romantic show. So Love 727 said, don't be confused, K, people are crazy. Thank you, Tina G, for the Daily Heart Me. So Loved 727 said, every day is a holiday and a vacation when you are happy. It's not true, So Loved 727. I don't know. Sometimes I need a real vacation. I can be happy, but I want to be happy like at a beach somewhere in another country. Donna DMC said, Nick's on a busman's holiday. Poker Kitten once said, if this were Nick and Luke, almost everyone here would circulate in 10 seconds. Let's be real. I mean, that's real talk. Millie said, I'm so glad that Luke T doesn't have social media, and neither does Claudia. Millie said whenever her season comes, at this point, it's going to be in 6 years. Oh, my word. I hope they do give us, like, a Christmas special or something. Griffin said you all want the tea. I mean, that's also facts. I mean, that's why I said I want folks to be really genuinely honest. Because, I mean, it's one of those things where, again, I think people want both. Like, when people say, like, stars want both things and they can't have both things, I think the same thing happens in the fan base. Where it's like, we're saying one thing, but our actions say something else, you know? Cassie said I didn't see any rude comments and she apologized. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that there wasn't too many things that were unkind to her. Because Shelly said, I think in the same situation we might all do this. I mean, I think the thing that was the biggest issue was posting it, right? Like, there's some folks that might film, but it's like to show their friends, like, and only like one or two people or something in their lives. Like, this is so cool. Thank you, Debbie, for the gift. But putting it onto social media, I think, was the biggest mistake, right? It was because then it's at the fingertips of all of these people. And so that's a very different feel than like, oh my word, I saw so-and-so, whatever. I don't know if I would still pull out a camera But I'm saying like that's less damaging to do, because there's like it's only a few people in your life that will see it or talk about it, is another thing to like, you know. But I always probably feel like it's probably best in general not to film, because you never know who gets a hold of that, even if you intentioned it only for a small handful of people. Whitwell P32 said, I kind of feel an ick about all of it, even about her story posts. Why post a holiday and get upset? Probably because she didn't expect it to go down the way that it did. Maybe it's an accumulation. Maybe it's like all of the things adding up, and then she just hit it like it was the last straw for her. Possibly. Jolo knows, so I do think if Nick and Luke had been just more open about things, then nobody would have gotten into a frenzy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if nobody would have, but I do think it would have helped. Unfortunately, no. Sometimes people still won't believe things, even if it came out of their mouths, if it doesn't sometimes line up with what people hope it to be. So, you know. Leanne said everyone wanted Pixon to know where they are and what they are up to. People were happy to see it. Poker Kitten once said, I am in the minority. In the minority of what, Poker Kitten? And I don't know if you're still here, because I just saw like a little thing that said you commented on one of my videos, so I'm not even sure if you're in the space right now. Bev said, our little 2 apple tall girl was introduced to the Big Apple. Cute. Leanne said, but then Nick posted and now people don't like it. And I mean, again, it's one of those situations where, like, when I did my video, like, I think I did a very poorly worded video now that I think about it, because people were like, she's not saying that we're bad people. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. But that's what I said. So it's like, I hear why people heard that. I just meant, like, I thought people shifted, like, how they talked about it, where they made I wasn't saying that Nicola was saying people were bad, but I almost felt like there was a shift of saying, like, it was bad, that people were looking at these things, when I don't think people were thinking that way when in real time. Okay, Carrie said there was just a lot of confusing content this weekend. Roller coaster after Luke posting. I mean, and the thing is, it's not been the first time where, like, there was, like, a roller coaster. I mean, so I don't know. It always feels that way. That's why I usually just try to focus on Endgame personally, just so I don't get my emotions too riled up one way or the other. I do like to hope sometimes, but, like, even then, so hold on. Okay. Did I lose? Okay, I totally lost where I was. Apologize. Oh my word. Shame.spiral said the fact is, none of us know anything for a fact. Only Nick and Lucilla do, so just chill out. Thank you, Maha, for the gift. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm just still going back because I'm, like, trying to remember. Blasted. I'm trying to remember where I was, because y'all are saying a bunch of things that I want to read. And I apologize. I know that I'm worried that it's gonna, well, actually won't hit, because it's like 35 new messages it says, so that's good. COADYKAZ said, I suspect Shondaland Netflix told them to ramp up the chemistry for World Tour, and not to mention real life partners. I mean, I don't know why she would request that, only because, like, For Queen Charlotte, they mentioned, what, oh my word, I forgot his name now. Mentioned that they were in a relationship. Corey. Okay, I think I finally found maybe where we were. Yes. Okay. The Bridgerton Wright said, the bigger problem is creators. In what sense? In which sense? Cassie.Renee said, it's safe to say they have burner C accounts and they see it. Joe Lono said, why make such a big deal about who they are with and keeping it secret? It fed the scrutiny. I feel like part of it is just wanting privacy, because then I think for a really long time they don't put it out. I get, it's so hard, but I hear that, like, I hear what you're saying though. Oh, and I gotta stop saying that, because you know when you hear somebody say the same thing over and over again, it starts to lose its meaning, and it's like, do you really hear me? I really do. So I gotta figure out another way to affirm what you're saying without it seeming like an empty statement I'm saying. And Philip says, I don't know how I feel about what my action will be going forward in terms of interfacing with celebs. Yeah, I mean, I need to, like, kind of just think in general about it. Poker Kitten once said, I think Nick overreacted or owed more than one vague sentence. Deb says, how does she explain her Luke Colin coded rings to a significant other that isn't Luke? I just don't get it. Again, maybe for her, it was about Bridgerton more than it was about Luke. I don't know. Which then is a work-related thing, right? I mean, Poker Kitten, I can understand that you feel like it's an overreaction. I personally, when I'm the one that's harmed, I hate it when people assume overreaction. Like, it's overreaction. The statement overreaction always just feels like I wouldn't react that way, therefore I expect you to react like me. Not saying that that's what you're saying, but like, it feels utterly dismissive when people say that somebody's overreacting, because it just really typically gives the impression that you don't take it as seriously as them, and you don't understand why they should take it as seriously as they do. And the reality is, it probably does not affect you in the same way because it's not your life. And so it doesn't feel like a big deal to you, but it obviously was a big deal to Nicola. And it's really, so definitely you have the right to how you felt about, like, your evaluation of how she felt. But I'm just saying, as far as Nicola was concerned, her reaction was just right. It's kind of like when people say you're either too much or too little. It tells you nothing about what you're actually feeling. It just lets you know how the other person is experiencing the moment. The Bridgerton Wright said, and I'm not saying you, this is my opinion, some are extremely decisive. Whitwoke P32 said, to Paul and Susan, your apology seems honest, and honestly, anyone would have made a video or picture. And Phillips says, deep questions, really. I think I want to be respectful in real times. I hear you, M. Phillips. Samesies. That's why I think I'm wrestling a lot with it myself. Basia said, if she didn't share the video, then the fandom would be coming at her for not sharing receipts. Oh, yeah, some people coming at her saying she's gatekeeping. Things like that always happen, I feel like. Watching Lady said, just my opinion, but I think that Nicola was the one who didn't let it be more than friendship. I mean, that's how I've always personally thought of it, but I have had no hard evidence to say why I think that. More than maybe that's my personal bias to believe so. Yeah. Basia, I think that probably would have happened. People would have gotten mad. Dr. Shaz says there were 3 stones in the crown for season 3. Let's see. Bye for now said it was all to do with being filmed in real time. Silk said, I felt bad when I saw that someone posted that Nick is at the show when it just started. Shelly said they seem to be strolling. Poker Kitten 1 said, I think Nick wants to control her narrative and maybe she's not experienced enough to do that. Ashley_B said, also the way her family acted when Luke hugged her mom. WTH. It was cute. They were so excited. Like the sister-in-law being like this. It was so cute. I think Nick wants to control her narrative and maybe she's not experienced enough to do that. I think, yeah, I always say that if you don't control your own narrative, other people will try to control it for you. And so I respect her desire to try to control the narrative about her, because if people are pushing out stories or thoughts that you don't feel like is an accurate representation of you, you'd want to address that immediately. Ma6 said, apparently the video was slowed down. You mean that for like further investigation? Is that what you're saying? Day said Nick was not being chased. Janine _on_the_coast said, I think that's all lies though. What's all lies? The fact that this is cushioned around the whole chase. I'm guessing that you're talking about chasing. Carla said, it's already been said by people who were there, they weren't being chased. People are making it up. Lux Few Can 4D said, I didn't see terror. I saw urgency. Which would then line up with what Paul and Season said was in regards to trying to get to dinner because they were running late already. Nana Ness says, absolutely, there was a slowed down version. Janine _on_the_coast said, people creating drama. Poker Kitten 1 said, Nick should write something on this if it bothers her so much. I mean, she might. She may choose to do an article on it. Again, she's on holiday. The fact that she even had to post or felt that strongly enough that she had to post something while she was on holiday, I feel bad that she even had to bother doing that. So, but I think Nicola has been pretty vocal throughout her career about how she feels about this stuff. So I wouldn't even say this is the first time she's addressed something like this. But yeah. Griffin said, I saw no fear. They looked relaxed in both videos. People are reaching. Bye for now said no one was being chased. Show Me said they were walking and people were stalking. I mean, again, that's the whole thing. Like, stalking to me is a big deal. And I think I guess I just want to understand people's definition of stalking before I'm like, were they really? But like, I just want to understand when people use that word, like what did the folks do to make it be stalking? Because I can understand if like people saw them, took a video, again, shouldn't have put it publicly for everyone to view, or maybe shouldn't have even taken the video at all. But like, how far along did they think that these folks followed them? Or were they just naturally walking that direction anyway because they were also heading somewhere else? It's, you know, like when you say goodbye to somebody and then you end up walking the same direction and you're like feeling awkward because you just said goodbye, not realizing you're going to head the same direction. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I guess I'm trying to understand, because stalking is a big word, and I just want to understand if it's truly like accurate statement of what happened that day. Nish said, you know, the sad part, the whole drama is pulling focus away from her amazing time 100 achievement. Ooh. Ugh. That's a mic drop. It's true. I mean, and I think this is why, like, again, I think the encouragement is just to focus on their professional achievements and the things that they're doing professionally, and really, as much as possible, leave the personal stuff to their private lives and just leave it be, to not dissect their private life. Cassie says, all I know is going forward, Luke better get 100% love and support. I hear that, Cassie. Do I think that's going to happen? Most likely not, but I hope he does get treated better than I feel like he's been treated for quite a while now. JMO613 said, I didn't see chasing. I think it was said they were hurrying to dinner. Griffin said, Luke and Nick deserve support and respect. Mazadi said, I think the thing to take heed of is Nick is posting that message, so it obviously upset her. Carla said, it's made up by people who are trying to find a reason for them to be holding hands. Kat said, I saw people speed walking because they were late to dinner, LOL. Bye for now says she has no problem with pics. Rose said she posted a heart. I think she understands fandom, having been a fan herself, but wants boundaries. The Bridgerton Ride said, Nicola and Luke are in these lives. Their friends and teams are here watching. Don't be naive. I am definitely naive. Bridgerton Ride, because to me that is laughable to think that Nicola and Luke would be in these lives. I mean, maybe friends and teams, but I highly doubt it. Maybe I underestimate my own platform or my own reach, but I just don't think I'm a main character in their lives enough for them to be in my lives. So call me naive, because I definitely feel naive, because as much as I would love to believe this is true, because I would love them to be in my lives, because I don't think that there's anything in my lives I would be ashamed for them to sit in and listen to. But I just don't think that I am that important. Sarah PDX says, all this proves she needs security. Anywhere she goes, she will be filmed. She's an A-list actor now. Yeah, they probably will need security from this point forward. MK13 says, there's an apology out there that says she was just in front of theater filming with Zoom. Bombshell Baby. Okay, Deb said, if Nick or Luke is in here, please do us all a favor and put an end to the game. Solve the puzzle. Bombshell Baby 22 says she didn't correct anything until yesterday. Shelly said, yes, but we honestly needed some perspective and now we have it. Lovebird said, I also think people are using chased and loose terms when they mean followed, stalked, and filmed. Bombshell Baby 22 said nothing on Friday. Yeah, this is true. So she didn't seem to have an issue as much, and because with maybe the photos. Again, that's why I think maybe filming, like the actual video, is another piece of the puzzle where she's like really not liking filming. Like pictures are just more like stagnant. It lacks context more. Versus a video provides even more additional context that maybe she doesn't want to provide to folks. Maybe I don't know. That's speculation on my part. Jenny ZZZY said, I think Nicola and Jake got caught, and the response she is getting isn't what she expected. I mean, possibly, but also I don't even know. Like, did she? It's like, was she looking at content that, you know, I don't know, that gave her the impression that people were having a backlash towards what they saw. Thank you, Tam, for the gift. Bombshell Baby 22, the age hatred is not cool. And so here's the question someone asked yesterday. I think it was Diana who asked this question yesterday in the live. Was around the question, is there age hatred or discussion on disagreeing about the age difference? Now, some people might not feel like there's a difference, but there is a difference in depending on how it's discussed. So I wonder, like, what the line is for folks. Watching Lady said, one, I think both Nicola and Luke weren't ready to say something like, we aren't together, won't be. Probably. I think that's another reason why they never fully shut down anything at that time, because what if they were open? They weren't sure what the future was going to hold for them. Two, because they don't know how to deal with all the feelings during World Tour, not ready to close that door. I mean, I can see that as a possibility. And Phillips says, was this stalking? I have a hard time believing it was, but at the same time, I say that based off of what I saw, not so I don't, and what the people who were there, like physically there, are saying. I am Candy Cash says, anybody here wonder how does Luke just disappear? No pictures, no nothing. I am impressed. He knows how to be incognito, I guess. Poker Kitten 1 feels like it's all overblown. Emily says she doesn't have security detail like Taylor Swift. I'm concerned for her safety, full stop. Bye for now. So maybe something happened after the video. That's a valid point. Maybe there was something that happened after the video. My question is, if something happened after the video, how do people know it? Who's telling them? It's so hard, right? Like, I don't know. Lindsay said, I think she wants the narrative to go away because it's not true. That's what I'm saying. Some people feel like people are looking at the same information and people, I'm sure there's more than two sides, but I'm hearing two lines of thinking. People, one side is saying she doesn't want the narrative because she is not with Jake. They are just friends. And then the other side is looking at the same evidence and saying the reason she is doing this is because she is with Jake and is a private person and wants that privacy respected. And the reality is there's not enough information to decide which way it is. I'm more apt to believe she is with Jake and wants to keep it private than the other way around. But I will also say I don't have enough information to definitively say that is the case. Because you're just looking at patterns at that point, you know. Coco said, I think she's trying to protect him. It makes sense why she wants things deleted. She's private. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are falling into I'm not saying there's only two camps, but there seems to be two camps. One that believes she did this because she didn't want this narrative push that she's in a relationship with Jake when she is not, while the other is saying she's absolutely in a relationship with Jake. This is why she's pushing against this so she can have her privacy still with him. MEEMSAWAY said she feels more vulnerable after letting her guard down. Normally, I think she is pretty careful. Danielle Lynn 93 said, why is this a debate? She set a boundary and people should respect it. I'm not quite sure what you felt like was being debated. Could you clarify? I think we were discussing like the conversation and just trying to understand what she meant, which aspect she was meaning. Was it the filming? Was it this? Was it that? Because if it was very clear, like there would be no discussion. But because it's like, which piece was the issue? And people are asking that, I think it's because people want to respect what she's asking for. And I think some people may assume like it's so cut and dry, but I don't think it is. Watching Lady said, but her previous relationships were too private. She knows how to keep it private. Yes. I mean, that's what I've been told. I mean, I don't know what her other relationships were. I have no idea. I lost where I was again. Shame.Spiral said, I guess I just don't understand the point of even arguing when we don't know the truth. Are people arguing in the chat or something? I'm just offering to people what I'm hearing as how people perceived the moment. You know? Whether people fall one side or another, or maybe there's a third side or whatever. I don't know. Jenny ZZZY said, the hate Luke faced with Antonia and age gap. She could be protecting Jake because the age gap is greater. A possibility. Oh my word. I really want to go back to where we were before. I wish it didn't bounce me down like that. As much as it did. And Phillips says boundaries don't require action from the other party. Boundaries are about you and your actions. 100%, M. Phillips. 100%. That's true, actually. Boundaries are not telling people what they need to do. It's telling them what you will do. And so I got to sit with that because it's true. Let's see here. I apologize again because now I'm trying to go back. Because I really want to read what y'all have to say. And I'm trying to remember what was the last thing I read. Thank you, Poker Kitten, for the gift. And Philip says she honestly should discover that she needs new boundaries for herself in public spaces. Yeah, she may. I mean, I think it's a learning thing for her as well. You know what I mean? It's a learning thing for her as well. It's like, she doesn't, this is the first time being this famous, you know, there's no instruction manual for it. You think you know until you're there. Emily said some of the fandom seems too young to remember Selena or parents with John Lennon. Cassie said people feel the person who filmed was tipped off and went there and pursued and then filmed. Was there a particular? I mean, it's not unheard of as a possibility, right? Because they're in a sense. But Paul and Season, if Paul and Season is still here, can address whether that was the case or not. But I mean, in the sense of like what brought them there, you know, was it the post from that person stating that they knew that Nicola was at this play? The Bridgerton writes that I'm saying stalking in general among the fandom. Oh, gotcha. Lala 1083. I mean, I hope that people are kinder to Luke. I don't know. It's never going to be 100%. There's some people that just will never forgive him for something that I don't think was even his doing, which was Papgate. I still stand by the fact that he did not even know that was coming. Kita said the person said she walked the same way for 2 blocks, and I'm certain that that feels like you're being. Oh my word! It stopped. I'll probably see it a little bit later when I scroll more. Jan said, don't post where people are in real time. Emily said the girl went to the theater looking for Nick because her location was leaked. That is stalking. Poker Kitten 1 said, I think her boundary is undoubtedly, unless she wants to pay for security, can't have both ways. And 1417 says, where's Luke? Ma Q6528 said the apology stated she was not following them. Griffin said someone on Instagram posted from that play. Oh, wait, I read that already. Okay, read a lot of these already, I think. Anne says, I miss Luke. Poker Kitten 1 said the video went up after they had walked away. How is that real time? I mean, maybe it's not technically real time, but how far away had they walked by that point? I mean, if you can still find the people within like 5 minutes of where that video was taken, it's probably still too much real time. I mean, my personal take. Hey, Melissa. And Philip said, I think that person in play just wasn't thinking. I think they underestimated how much people were going to take it to heart and go there. So Love 727 said private time is different than public time. Roxy said the question raised was if the fans has been encouraging this behavior. It's a great question, Roxy. Alexi said she can't hold hands with him in the middle of New York and at the same time be doing this to protect him. Roxy said the question raised was if the fans have been encouraging this behavior. Probably in some ways, right? I think whenever, like, why do paparazzi exist? Is because there is literally a market for it based off of people's interest in people's lives. The paparazzi would not be making a living the way that they are if people didn't care. So in that sense, yes. But is that what people mean to do because they're interested? I don't think so. Oh my word. I just realized my nose has this thing. That must mean I've been, oh my word. I didn't realize that. I must have been bleeding and I didn't even realize. How long has that been there? It's dried. So it must have been there for a really long time. Okay, sorry. So I got sidetracked by my own nose. But here's the point. I don't think fans are thinking that that's what their actions are doing. I certainly don't like to believe that that's what my action, but like by the nature of being interested, it does create an atmosphere that could encourage this, unless you're stating very explicitly, like, let's not do this. Like, there are clear boundaries, which again, Nicola is stating what she would like to see, which is no filming of her. Poker Kitten once said the real-time post was someone at the theater said they were in a play and spotted a celebrity. The one that I saw, Poker Kitten explicitly said it was Nicola. So they didn't just say they spotted a celebrity, they said it was Nick. Now, there might have been another post that you saw that just said they saw a celebrity and didn't say who it was. But the post that I saw, he had like a playbill, or this person had a playbill. I don't know what gender this person was, but they had a playbill and said that Nick is in the show. Should I go say hi or something? Bessie Boo said, okay, actually read that already. Poker Kitten once said they didn't photo her in the theater. No, they did. I mean, like, I didn't see that one. Caitlin Marie said the guy had 600 followers. Someone was searching for her location to gain info. I mean, it also depends on if people were just searching her name, which might have happened too. That's the thing that I have to remind myself, because I always feel like I'm a small account, that my reach is not that like large, but I forget that sometimes, you know, you can have a smaller account, but your reach can be like incredibly high, right? Like my reach is like, I may have like one random video that got 1 million views, but the majority of my videos are going to be like 10K. Maybe the highest is like 300, 400K views, right? But there's other people who have the same like follower count than I do, and they get millions of views on their videos. You know what I mean? So I don't know like the rhyme or reason behind what your reach really is, no matter what size of an account you are. User with a lot of numbers right behind it said, I don't think she was prepared for the level of celebrity she now has. Yeah. The Bridgerton Ride said, I'm not yelling. I love the caps lock. Thank you for the clarification. C said with that. Oh, wait. Okay. I read that one already. Okay. And Philip says, I go back and forth on this. I primarily think she has to adjust to her new status, period. Jazzy21, thank you for the gift. Mazadi said, no one wearing black dress and rings prominent. Photographer posted it. Oh, Jan said, no black dress photo shoot shot from a week ago. The only black dress, okay, black dress. The black dress photo that I'm thinking about was the one that was taken on October 5 in Soho. Watching Lady said, I have a very serious question. Where is Lukey? Well, Watching Lady, you are not the only one wondering. I think Lukey is trying to avoid all of this hoopla. Trying to just enjoy maybe his own little holiday from all this stuff. Heartfelt 85 said that's the movie. A24 movie premiere with Nicole Kidman, black dress. But _Brit_wait said people are volleying between if she was upset at being filmed or what was filmed. Probably both. Because the majority of the things that typically have come out for Nicola have been photos, but not actual videos. Rose said, yes, Nick had said that even when filming, she can feel overwhelmed like Luke with noise and people. Miss Fancy said, catch me up. I'm sorry, Miss Fancy. Hopefully, like, I'm so behind in the chats that I'm sure that I've already kind of given you a little bit of a rundown. Oh, Bessie boosted the black dress photo shoot from 2 weeks ago. Gotcha. She does seem to love that black dress. I feel like she's worn that at several different occasions. QEEOTOYLTMX1 said, I see friendship, love, but love. Jan said, oh, wait, I read that already. Katrina said, I really believe they are just friends. They haven't given any reason to believe otherwise. Watching Lady said, but now we have our official Lord Debling. So Love said, friends can go out, enjoy each other's company, whether it's male or female. Basic Witchcraft Crafting said, I mean, she was in a busy area in a bright red dress with a conspicuous dude. Come on. I really did love that dress, though. Such a cute dress. Bombshell Baby 22 said, it's hard. America is different than London. Carla said, Luke's is like, thank God it's not me this time. Sad. I don't think he's hoping. I mean, I hear the humor behind that, though I'm sure he's not happy that it's happening to Nicola. They're both very like protective of each other. Cassie said, it's hard to say what some of us feel because it brings up someone's sexuality, so we keep quiet or to group chat. I appreciate that you kept it vague as that, because I don't like to discuss that myself. JC said, now we just need to start running after that carriage. I will say, though, Cassie, like, people genuinely don't know. You know, it would all be speculation. And that's why I think people avoid having that conversation. And Philip said, at least not in a bright red dress holding hands. They're so, I mean, that dress, though, so cute. Miss Fancy said, crowds overwhelm most people. That's true. Definitely overwhelms me. Fav_Rav said, I mean, Luke is very good at keeping his head down, so he might be in NYC as well. I mean, it is a possibility for sure. Sarah Porter 213 said, I wonder if Luke is going to be BRB soon. Poker Kitten once said, tons of celebrities go out. They get photographed and videoed. The trade-off to them is worth it. I mean, Poker Kitten, I hear you, and doesn't mean that just because it's true for other celebrities that it's true for her. I think that demand of, like, you should feel like other celebrities, and well, let me think about this. You're not saying that you're demanding that she feels like other celebrities. I'm just saying she's communicated what she has felt. So it doesn't matter how other celebrities choose to handle it or how well they handle it if she's personally saying that she was not a fan of it. And also sometimes celebrities don't say anything, but they feel exactly the same way she does, but maybe are afraid more of the backlash of communicating what they actually would prefer, because people have told them that they don't have a right to have their own feelings and thoughts around, like, what access they're giving to people. So that's my thought around that. Melissa said, I don't think we should assume that because they are celebs. And then it cut off. And Philip says she has to adjust to her situation. She did nothing to try to disguise herself. Bombshell Baby 22 said, I truly don't think she realized she's an A-list celebrity at this point. Ma Q6528 said, it's all in the apology, guys. Did you all read the full apology? I had. I really appreciated the apology. Even though obviously it was not something that I needed. She wasn't apologizing to me, but I did appreciate the clarification of what happened. Cassie said, life is too short. I wouldn't want to hide my real life relationship. Yeah, me neither. Lauren said, I just think she needs security. Money Saving Mama said, I think it was a rude awakening for her. Lindsay said, she is private. Think about who she is trying to not be seen with in public. Rose says, does money trump freedom? I don't think so. It's kind of like health is wealth. Like, you can have a lot of money, but if you don't have your health, is really a hard life to live. Same way, like, you can have money, but if you don't have freedom to, like, roam, like, it's shackling. And 1417, like, some people just want to go to a grocery store sometimes, you know? And 1417 said, if you love someone, nothing else should matter. Enjoy your life. Melissa said, I don't think we should assume because they are celebs that we get to film photograph. Oh, wait, I read this in earlier. I forgot about that. Poker Kitten once said, then if they aren't happy, they can do something else. Easy to say when it's not easy to say, Poker Kitten, but they are happy with what they do. I think that's the difference. I think, Poker Kitten, this is the difference. You're associating everything extra that they never wanted. They wanted to act. And it is such a sad commentary of our world that we're saying that all this extra stuff, if you want to act, you have to enjoy all this extra stuff. No, they don't. Like, I've seen too many artists or actors who absolutely hate all this extra stuff. They never wanted this extra stuff. They just wanted to be able to act because acting makes them happy. Jill Finn 77 said she also found fame later in age for Hollywood. She's used to a private adult life. Good point. Good point. So Love 727 said people might need to evaluate what is a close friend versus a close friend that is a lover life partner. Dan said, I don't actually know what Nicola expects. Her fans will always be up in her business. I mean, a part of me is wondering, Dan, what the main takeaway was for that post. I know some people think it's blatantly clear, but I think there's levels to what she, I don't know. I'm just I need to sit with it myself. JC said, I wonder what she will do Wednesday. Will she go on her own? I wonder now after all of this. Yeah, we shall see. Rena said, you can't have both things. I've given up great job opportunities because of personal values. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, Rena, and I love you usually. Usually all the things you say, I agree with you because you usually make me laugh. But K-Pet, where's Luke's post about the fan of the NC State Club since 2019? Oh. But Rena, I don't know if I think that people can't have both things, because I have seen actors that have both things. They have their ability to love acting and be left alone. And it all comes down to their fans, because their fans respect them not to do that, like not to be invasive like that. So I feel like sometimes we're saying it's a given, but in reality, I've seen too many stars actually be able to manage a private life. And L-I-N-N-N-N said, I honestly shocked about all this, especially Nick said she kind of hasn't had an ick dating a younger person. Yeah, I hear you. I vaguely remember that interview. I think, yeah. But at the same time, I agree with you, Rena, that sometimes somebody may have to make that decision because of like giving up job opportunities because of personal values. So if she finds that it's gotten too much, I would be very sad if she left the entertainment industry simply because she found that there's no way that she could live her life and have that. But I do think that I've seen too many people have both things to not feel like it's a possibility. Mazadi said, no matter who you are entitled to your privacy. You are entitled to your privacy and personal space. Rena said, it's okay to disagree, Bocce. If we all thought the same, life would be boring. This is true, Rena. And you know I love you so much. Like, you're like one of my highlights every time we have lives. Like, you're always getting me rolling. And here's the thing, Rena. I think you're more realistic than I am, right? I'm idealistic. You are talking about how things are. And I'm talking about how things could be. I think that's the difference. I don't think you're wrong. I think you're being very realistic. I'm saying I feel like we can change rules of engagement as a fan base. Ren Fair Mistress says, I think Luke is still hiding. Not mention of him getting coffee. LOL. Poker Kitten once said Nicola should say more if she feels important to make a change. I wouldn't put it beyond her to say more at a later point, Poker Kitten. One, just probably not during a holiday. She had time for one sentence, and that was it. Lala1083 said, I'm at 50-50 right now. I don't know what to think anymore. I hear that. Charlie said, it's awful, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's the business. Then you add a fandom speculating. Gelono said, I think the boat pics in Malta, Italy, of Luke and reflection analysis have been have all been way too much. I mean, I wish it just stayed as lighthearted as I think the intention was behind all those things. I don't know whenever it begins to cross any lines, because I think at the heart of it was a lighthearted exploration. But I think, I don't know, sometimes things get far away from the intention of the post themselves. Rena said, people do need to decide for themselves what's more important. We all make sacrifices. That's true. Poker Kitten once said, almost everyone here, if they saw Nick walk down the street holding hands with Luke, would be sharing. Probably. It's all over and we know that. Probably. I will say, Poker Kitten, speaking to myself, for myself, like, I would not put anything out personally. Like, if someone sent me that picture, and I don't know if Luke and Nicola would want it out, I probably would not have put it out. I've said this in the past. I've had things sent to me in the past that I have stated explicitly to folks that I will not put out. That they could probably find other creators that may be willing to do it, but I couldn't. Because every creator has different lines. It doesn't make one creator have a better line than another. It's just different. So I just want to be very clear about that, because sometimes people like misrepresent something. I'm saying people just have different lines. That's it. It's not an evaluation of wrong or right. It's just different lines. And so for me, I probably would not have. Because I know that somebody else probably was also sent the same picture and they're probably going to break it, but I don't want to be the one to do it, because I would be like, I would feel the repercussions of doing something like that if I didn't know they wanted that kind of information out. M said, it is sad that the rules of engagement for celebs has become what it has. It is so messy. Yeah. And I think it's like people just got used to that, assuming that that's how it has to be. I just don't think it has to be that way. Rose said, not all celebrities are the same. Some unbelievable, like the spotlight. Yeah, that's true. Some celebrities actually definitely enjoy it. So everybody's different. Nicole Turner said, we as fans need to take some ownership in this. We want to know who they are dating. This is true. I mean, our hands are not clean, for sure. And Phillips says, there are ways. Ma6 says, they don't need to tell about their private lives, but less ambiguity could settle things down. Oh, I read that already, earlier. Bombshell Baby 22 says, makes me so angry. I don't remember what I was talking about at the moment when you felt that way. But hopefully, you feel better now. Oops. Okay. Oh my word, did I lose where I was? I think I did. Blasted. I hate it when that happens. Ugh. Sorry, I apologize. I lost where I was. Tiana Rose says, all would have been avoided if they both went into the tour saying we are in relationships. The thing is, I don't know if they were. Like, not in the way that people think they are, I think. I don't know if they felt like it was worth talking to. I don't know if it was just they were beginning to explore those relationships, you know, or not. It's like, I don't know. But I do hear what you're saying about, like, it would have been helpful. I agree that it would have been helpful, but I just don't know. Were they feeling that heavy of a relationship, you know, before with them? I don't know. Cece said Luke might need to give Nick lessons on how to be incognito in public. He's got it down. I mean, for all we know, Luke might just be, you know, playing video games in his house. Just kidding. I don't know. Oh my word. Where was I? Oh gosh. I want to find where I was. Isis says the mystery of the Polaroid sounds like she deceiving us. So the mystery of the Polaroid sounds like she deceiving us. I have to think about that. What does that mean? Okay, I think I finally found where I was. Poker Kitten once said Nick wants it both ways and it's not doable today. And Philip says, but she is just being unabashedly herself and then being like, but don't react to me being myself. Sarah says she's famous beyond Bridgerton fandom now and will be recognized walking in New York City. Not right, but just is. User with a lot of numbers right behind it said, without clarification, it leads to speculation. She has to decide what she's comfortable with. Cassie said fans are what drive views, buying products, etc. Kathy K23 said they are one, we are millions. Must be hard to never switch off in public and enjoy a moment. Nicole said fans that are looking at every post of A and J to know what's going on, just let them live. Jolo no. Oh wait, no, I read that one already. Melissa said, and plainly, we don't really know anything. And honestly, that's the way it should be unless they want to share it. Yeah. Cindy said, or a big romantic kiss and then everyone is on wow. Love that. Dan said, I think they owe us something. They pushed their chemistry down our throats then expected us to forget. I mean, I still don't think they owe us anything. It's so hard because I think that they are just naturally that way with each other. I think we just love them and then it just got away. It went bigger than it needed to, I think, when it came down to it. Because I don't know if they were pushing their chemistry down our throats. But I love the visual that you're giving me with how you phrase that. But I just do think that that's just how they are. And I don't think they even realized how unhinged they may have seemed to people. Serenity Chic said the apology seems sincere. I'm just saying. I agree. I did feel her apology was sincere. Poker Kitten once said, I don't really know what Nick was saying. She may have been talking about the other people shown in... And it just cut off again. But _Brit_wait said, ultimately, this is also a learning experience for Nick about her level of fame. It's an adjustment. Yeah, it's an adjustment for anyone, I think. Collie said, it seemed like she wanted Nick to know she was sorry. It takes courage to admit being wrong. I agree. Basia said, every time I open IG, I see a different celebrity recorded in private moments. Yesterday, I also... And it stopped there. Mama Sita Flora said, what's wrong with apologizing? People are going to be mad either way. She did the right thing. Rena said, I don't think it was a bad decision. The only thing I would have changed was posting it real time. Poker Kitten once said, the video, unless she considers herself a stranger. Veronica said, I respect anyone who acknowledges their mistake and apologizes for it. Lady Cherie said, I wish people would stop using Nicola's words against her. Holding hands doesn't always mean dating. I mean, Lady Cherie, that would probably be me because I definitely have used her words. User with a lot of numbers right behind it said, it was reinforced by Ryan W. The fans feel trolled. Oh, that's so sad. That it feels like trolling. I think that they just see, they were also rooting for it. I've always felt like the crew and the cast have always rooted for it too. I think they were waiting for them to notice it. Sorry, I had to charge my phone. But I hopefully you don't feel like, well, I guess you might be because you said stop using Nicola's words against her. I wasn't trying to use it against her. I was trying to recognize that that's what she had said. And so I wasn't sure if she was ever going to give us a declaration officially. So when I saw that happen, I couldn't help but think about that interview and be like, she said that if she's holding hands, walking with somebody, that's love. And it wasn't to me, it felt loving, in the moment, in the video, I didn't feel all this other stuff that people are saying. So I thought it was a loving moment between the two of them. So I think that's where I arrived on that situation. Watching Lady said, we need Golda here. Ann Phillips says, I would feel awful and want to apologize. It would be tempting to hide, but an apology is best. I agree. Basia said Adam Sandler with his kids at Target was one of the celebrities you saw. Yoey Casper said celebs get filmed all the time. She was in NYC. It's a busy city. Nish said I also respect her for apologizing, and she seemed sincere. Serenity Chic says I hold hands with friends and family all the time. I'm not reading into anything at this point. Leah said not sure we were trolled. It just seems that surely we can't have all been wrong. I don't think we were. I just think they made decisions not to pursue it for one reason or another. But I don't think we didn't see what we saw. We saw what we saw. And 1417 said unintentionally she has perhaps affected how Nick will behave in future, perhaps. Perhaps. And I mean, it's a good lesson for everybody, including Nicola. Ma6 said Luke may indeed be in New York City. Also, we don't know. Very true. Nash LF said it's also being scrubbed. Sarah said her airplane pic was sponsored with Aer Lingus. It might have just been required to post. Oh, that's a good point. Possibly. Rin SA said, I also holding hands with my male best friend, but we're just friends. Yes. Kate says she may not have even seen Luke's IG post. She follows 1,700 people. I hear you, Kate, though I highly doubt she didn't see it. I think he's probably one of the things, like one of the accounts she does look at. Marcella said, hi, I'm glad I'm able to join a live again. Yay, I'm glad you were able to, Marcella, as well. Poker Kitten once said, I'm beginning to be over them. Just beginning? Just beginning, Poker Kitten one? Because I feel like throughout this whole engagement, I feel like you've been over it for a bit. It's all love, BB said it's their fault. LOL. Bombshell Baby 22 said, I think this has been taking some extremes though too. It's not just a fandom thing. Ashley _B said, I love Nick, but she is a celebrity and it's going to be filmed and photographed in public. Rena said, I gotta get to work. Everyone keep being awesome. You keep being awesome, Rena. I know you will be. Alexi Vo 80 said, I think if they weren't caught holding hands, she would not have cared. Bev said, I'm going with perhaps she is a bit naive as to just how popular she is. Poker Kitten 1 said, oh wait, no, I read that one already. Is all of BB said this was going to happen. It happens to all celebs. The thing is, she's bigger than she's ever been, and it's scary to her. Jenny's ZZZY said maybe, oh, did I read this one already? But I'll read it again because I'm not sure if I did read it before. Maybe Nicola doesn't want the backlash that occurred with A to happen to J, hence removal. Marcella says, I just believe that there is a difference between private and secretive. Why are they both secretive? Watching Lady said, I'm still thinking for what reason Luke posted that pic. It wasn't something usual for him. I mean, at the very least, maybe it was an ad for those luggage. Because he did show the name of the luggage. But he didn't say it was an ad. So, I don't know. Lala1083 said, I've heard that Nicola and Jake weren't the ones deleting tags. It was the creators removing them. True or no? I have heard that was the case as well. I don't know. Here's the only reason why I feel like part of it was Nicola's team removing it. Is I've been around this fandom enough to know that nobody will 100% remove tags. Like, some people will do it out of the goodness of their hearts, but there will be many that won't remove it. So the fact that all were removed gives me the impression that for those that didn't choose to remove it, they helped make sure they were removed. But I don't have definitive proof of that one way or the other. K-Pat said, if Nicola and Luke hate the shipper attention, then make an actual statement. Janet said, I'm losing interest and it's for the best. Then if more people do, Luke and Nicola can live their lives. That's true, Janet. Um, as long as people don't lose interest in what, what their work is, like still be supportive of their work, but just lose interest in this Lucilla side of things. Kayla said, I mean, I don't doubt Nick might be a little quiet for a while. Serenity Chic said, take me with you, Phoebe. What was I talking about? Where was I planning to go? planning to go? Vorney B said, it's just a mess. We all need to just take a breath. Stop the finger pointing. It isn't that deep. Deb says, I'm heartbroken. Ashley_B said, they went over the top on the world tour. They could have just stopped it with, we're just friends. Dan said, I find the whole white knight complex the fandom has developed really icky. Bev said, maybe Nick is now seeing just how popular she is. Hi, K-Girl. JewelC42 said, but this was a juicy video, right? Caitlin Marie said, the biggest issue is searching for her location and tags. Oh, people were doing that? Oh. Nish said, WTS baffling is I'd have thought Nicola more savvy and would know walking hand in hand invites speculation. Caitlin Marie said, how did people even find that guy's story? I mean, they might be just searching. Was it a story? I thought it was a post. Was it an actual story? Then I don't know the answer to that. But if it was a post on another platform, it's searchable by like the words sometimes that ends up happening. People search by words. Ashley_B said both Nick and Luke could have nipped all of this early on. Hi, Mel. Nash LF said, how did that publication that I won't utter end up with the video? I probably in the same way that they have gotten other stuff as they found it themselves and then put it on their website. I don't think anybody necessarily sent it to them. Because I've heard too many stories where people say like this, they see things after the fact and then put it on their website. So I would think that maybe that's what happened. I don't know though. Cassie said the problem is without statements that leaves room for speculation and assumptions. Hey, Empress. Marisol said, or maybe because everything is being interpreted wrong. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Nash LF said, I think she jumped the gun and posted while upset. Perhaps. I think it was still worth doing. Like, it was worthwhile what she did. Because it did make people pause and think. Poker Kitten 1 said, just because we love Nick didn't mean she's perfect or always right. Jenny ZZZY said she will post on Wednesday, so there is that. Yes, I agree, Poker Kitten. Nicola is not perfect or always right. It is always scary when people do put people on a pedestal to the level that they think they're flawless, because that is just a recipe to be let down, because nobody is perfect and nobody's always right. In this case, though, I think she was just she was just making it clear what she would prefer or what she would want from her fan base. K-Pat said, I'm like, make a statement and it will shut us up. I would love to see that happen. Do you think that's going to happen, K-Pat, if they've made a statement? Do you really think, or do you think people are so committed to a particular thought they'll say like, oh, I think they're just saying that, but they don't really mean it? Because sometimes I feel like they kept trying at different times and people are like, I don't know. Tammy said, I think after Luke posted his suitcase post and Nicola airplane post, everyone was thinking they were going. Bombshell Baby 22 said that's the thought too. Sam said, normal people who live here in New York don't film celebrities because some live here. The whole thing is odd. Okay. Oh, Tammy said you were thinking they were going to hard launch. Got it. Veronica said this could still all be a ruse to avoid talking about she and Luke being together. And Philip says, I mean, the videos are part of our demand for receipts and proof. Not saying it's bad, just true. Um, Carrie said, there was just a lot of confusing content this weekend roller coaster after Luke posting. I hear that. Mamacita Flora said if it were posted, it should have been a few days later. Never cool to post same day. So a lot of folks talk about like it's about the real time posting that she was upset about, but I was like, the post itself was just normalizing not filming. So my question is like, if people are so sure it's about the real time posting rather than just the filming itself, but her comment was around filming. So if filming was the issue for her, then I would think that meant like she didn't want filming at all. Oh, okay. Poker Kitten, what I asked this question so long ago, and I'm always so behind in my chat, but I do remember asking you how you were in the minority, and you just said because I don't agree with Nick. I laugh at how far behind I am, y'alls. I am so sorry, but I just really love reading all your comments, and I hate, like, sometimes I skip things, but I try to read as many of these as possible. It's all love BB said some random guy recorded me on the subway in NYC. It's unfortunate, but it happens, and I'm a regular person. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it happens to people. Thank you, Karen, for the gift. Vorney B said I can't help but feel that they played with fire a little bit, and they deserve privacy though. Poker Kitten once said she should clearly say what the issue is. I do wish there was a little bit more clarity. I think it's very safe to say, it's very safe to say that she doesn't want filming to happen. And just like a hard stop, no filming. So it's not like what kind of filming. It's just like, if it's a private moment, please don't film kind of situation. I think the real time thing is a good assumption to be attached to it, though never explicitly stated within the post. But yeah. Watching Lady said hopefully Luke is going to come back. It's all love BB said that's NYC for ya. Poker Kitten once said I have no idea who the strangers are. Normalize not filming strangers. She's the stranger. I thought that was self-explanatory, but maybe not. Did other people read that differently? When I read normalize not filming strangers, I assumed that she was talking about she's the stranger. Like, don't film me. Like, you don't know me. I'm an actress, but you don't know me from Adam at the same time. Please don't film me. I'm a stranger to you. You're a stranger to me. Margot said, hi, what's up? Just passing by. Hi, Margot. Hopefully you got your question answered since I'm so behind. Kate said she may have had other people record her this weekend and saw and asked to delete. Possibly. And that was the last straw. Yeah, we never know like what led up to the time when somebody's finally like, I'm done with this. Sam said the statement by the person who filmed was also odd. You just happened to walk by the theater with RMB. What's RMB? I have to reread the comment. Did she just say that? Does she just happen to be walking by? Because that's a possibility. Because not everybody necessarily saw the post from that one person to know that it was. I mean, if she lives there, it is possible. Now, mind you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she's still here to clarify. Lala 1083, is she upset because she was recorded, period, or because of what was recorded? I'm just going to base it off of like being recorded, period. Because that's pretty much what the post said. Because I feel like she didn't put a caveat about like it was what was being recorded. But rather like that she was being recorded. Basic Witchcrafting said, for someone as media savvy as her, this entire weekend seems like a major oversight on her part. I mean, yeah, maybe an underestimation of an underestimation of NYC. Watching Lady said, what about Jay's photos with Louisa? I don't know what those are. Vorney B said, the biggest concern for me is that they've drawn a line now and post even less. Wouldn't blame them. Nicole said if none of them clarify, that rumors will get more and more. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because sometimes you're like, which rumors do you address and which rumors do you just allow to die? You know? Yolanda said, who gave the apology for posting? Paul and Season. Isis says, I don't understand why she continues with the mystery of Polaroids feeding our Delulu. Okay, I think I read this comment, but I understand your comment now versus when I read it earlier. Ashley_B said, I honestly feel like they're just toying with us at this point. I genuinely don't know if I can understand why you feel that way. I just don't know if that's what the situation is. Carla said no, Shondaland couldn't legally tell them how to behave. That's a big no. Vorney B said you dipped your toe in that other platform and probably learned very quickly why you probably don't want to dip your toe in that platform. Roxy said Nick and Luke posts are projecting something different than what Adjacent and others are posting. Again, probably wanting that ability to control like your own narrative, you know, including from those that are beside you trying to shape it. Shame.Spiral said, has she ever said that they're Luke coded? No, but she has said it was Bridgerton coded for sure. Or inspired by Bridgerton. She has said that. Poker Kitten once said, how was she harmed really? It depends, I guess, what you mean by harmed. Like, what, she wasn't physically harmed. I think perhaps is an escalation that she wants to nip it in the bud before there's an escalation to a place where she could get harmed. Is a possibility. Lala1083 said, even though they owe us nothing, I think some clarification would calm things down. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, not owing things and helping things are two separate things, and I do think it would help, even though they don't owe it to anybody, per se. Vorney said, it's a shot across the bow. We need to take note and calm down a little. Sam said, the person who filmed her did it intentionally. I'm not convinced otherwise. I mean, I think she filmed intentionally. But whether whether she realized the magnitude of what was going to happen after doing so, I don't think she did. But again, I don't know if Pollen's season is still here or not. Isis says she posted those songs knowing that we would understand that it was for the wrong person. Poker Kitten once said, I don't know what her reaction actually is except what we are saying it is. I mean, that's a valid statement. I don't think we do know. I think people are saying things, but we don't actually know. Only they know. Because the fact that so many people could read completely different interpretations into their facial expressions tells me like it's not a cut and dry thing. K-Pat said, meeting the fam on the world tour. Why? So unnecessary now. I think maybe just because they wanted to meet each other's family. But I don't even know if it's meeting them for the first time. Because she had mentioned something about Christmas before, somebody said. Watching Lady said, was it also wild when Luke was with Jade? I heard it was. That there was a lot of backlash against Jade. So I think it was. Oh my word. I lost where I was. No! I hate it when this happens. I'm really trying, y'all, to get to a place where I can let y'all go. But I really want to read all of your comments before I do that, you know? Thank you, Watching Lady, for the gift. Thank you, Sarah PDX, for the gift. Oh my word, I'm so behind. But I want to see what y'all said. Sorry for the silence. It's just because I'm trying to find where I was at. I wish there was a way that it would not do this, where it bumps things away from me like that, because Watching Lady said, but people were shipping them even when Luke was with Jade, so what is the difference now? I think it's more people. Maybe it's more people. And more people, it gets wilder. It gets more unruly. I think. Okay, I'm getting closer to where I was, I think. M said, self-reflection on how to engage with celebrity and social media is something I'm wrestling with too. Yeah. I mean, I can't help but wrestle with that myself as this is all going on. Ashley said, also the way her family acted when Luke hugged her mom. Okay, I actually read that already. Marie said, in my opinion, Nick and Luke deserve an apology. Same thing happened to Luke and... it cut off. M said, but don't we all want to control our narratives? Absolutely. Absolutely, we do. Alexi Vo 80 said, ding, ding, ding. I mean, people don't ever want people to think things about themselves that they don't think is true about themselves. So everybody wants to control our narratives. Ashley _ B. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, because I guess I can't assume. I'm just assuming that everybody would not want to be misrepresented and would want how you want yourself to be represented to line up with what you think is accurate. Watching Lady said, perhaps their world tour made everything crazier. Oh, definitely. Ashley _ B said, like, why did they act like that? That's not for PR. I don't think it was. I think that's just their natural chemistry. Poker Kitten 1 said, I'm sorry if it seems I'm dismissive, but I feel we don't know what she meant. Who are the strangers? I'm guessing that you probably have heard my answers right now, what I think the strangers was referring to. Shame.Spiral said, sounds like a game of telephone, FFS. Alexi Vo 80 said, I didn't see any urgency, really. Casual walking. Deb says, why can't they just clear this up? This whole thing could stop. Foy's Journal said, I think she should have put out a better statement than what she posted yesterday. Sorry, I had a little burpy situation there. I don't know if she was trying. I think that was just a knee-jerk reaction for her to put that out, because she was frustrated, most likely. But I don't know if she was. That's an assumption. I don't know if that's... I don't know what the driving emotion was. But I don't think she may come out with a better statement, or a more clear statement, or a more full statement at a later time. But she is on holiday, so even putting out that short statement was already a lot to me. Deb says, no more games or crumbs or puzzle PY. Marcella said, I think the problem was secrets. Look at Tom Daya. They are private, not secret. Cassie said, I can't get over being in one of the busiest cities, though. You will be seen. Basic Witchcrafting said, there is no expectation of privacy in public. She should know this. She wasn't at a private location. Jenny says she didn't care about the A24 pics, but cared when she was caught holding Jake's hand. I will say that I don't think she cared about the A24 pics, because I still stand by the fact that that is a work-related thing. I know people said, you know, like, this is a holiday for her. That's like, even though she's on a holiday, that she's a workaholic, so she enjoys doing that stuff. But I don't think that's different. I think in her mind, it's definitely different in mine. The A24 pics, because I definitely think that's work-related. So you're gonna take pictures and be fine with it. CW2106 said, I don't think there was chasing, but I think overwhelmed with a small crowd becoming bigger. Kim said, there's a photo of her with a fan near a cafe on the other platform from that same day, and Nick looked great. Diana said, we don't even know if Nicholas even talking about this video. I mean, that's a valid point, Diana. I didn't think about it. What other video do you think she could potentially be talking about? I think the assumption was that it was this video, simply because it was the only video that was out at that moment and it seemed to line up. Is there any other video that you're thinking? I don't even know if you're still in space, Diana, but if you are, like, what other video do you think she could possibly have been referring to? CW2106 said they were walking the same direction, but how is Nick to know that? Kayla G415 said she gave permission for the A24 pics. They wouldn't have posted otherwise. I mean, I think just her attendance to it is the permission. Because I still stand that it's a work-related thing. So the assumption probably in that party is that we will be taking your photos and it will be used. So you don't need to see the photos we're taking. Just know that your photos will be taken and we will post it. By nature, because you're coming into this party that is work-related. Kate Pat said, in my opinion, she's more upset her relationship got outed. Mick said, it's her new reality. People will take pictures, videos if they see her. Sarah says, all this proves she needs security. Anywhere she goes, she will be filmed. She's an A-list actor now. Kim said that's what the person who took the video said. She was going the same way, and video is using Zoom. Gotcha. I do remember that vaguely when I read her apology letter. Sarah said most people walk fast in NYC. I'm here visiting, so. Jan said they have said they go in TikTok. Rose said, oh, they will be in some for the giggles. When the assumption that Luke and Nicola would be in here. Deb said, for the love of all things holy. Mel said, if they are here, hi, Nick, hi, Luke. Em said you probably will do that. Let's see. Hello, Linnell. Alexi Vo 80 said, what does she correct, though? Are you talking about the post? What was it meant to correct? I still fully don't know. I think at the very least we know she doesn't want filming done. That's more definitive to me based off of just what that statement was. But other people added other elements like posting in real time, things of that nature. And people are like having different views of what that, like taking videos down or saying what they did, what it means. Does it mean that she's not or she is with Jake? Like, it's interesting how people are looking at the same evidence and coming to different conclusions. And so that's why it's like, it's not very clear after the fact. Bazia said, I think they have PR people that watch social media on their behalf. Yeah, I would like to believe that she wasn't having to give up her holiday to be untagging things. Sarah said, in this age of cell phones and her fame, to not be seen, take the back door. Ida Pita said, I read the explanation apology and it seemed very sincere. Yoey Casper says she has been filmed before out in public and never posted about it being wrong before. And I think that's why people are asking the question of, is it the filming that was the issue or is what was filmed the issue? Yolanda said, I think filming in their faces are what bothers her. Veronica said, like us, teams watch and look at the creators they choose to follow. They need to know fan temperatures. CW2106 says it's the difference between photos in a professional setting versus photos in private life without permission. I agree. Styx says, I think it means she's with him and did not want this out there, but she miscalculated. CJMBA1233 said, yes, they were talking about her ace. I don't know what that means. LB says she was followed, which probably was unsettling, not having security or protection. 10 said, age gap doesn't bother me. Lala1083 said, is this the first time she's been filmed without her knowledge? Betsy A said, there's a 13-year difference. It's not that small. I am Candy Cash says, anybody here wonder how does Luke just disappear? No pictures, no nothing. I am impressed. Yeah, and that's why I was saying that Luke knows how to keep things private. It was just the people around him that would out him out. But if he didn't have certain folks around him that tried to let other people know his business, nobody would know his business. Basic Witchcrafting said, if you want a private vacation, go to a private resort. Have a chauffeur, security in public. Like, Deb says, Nick hasn't been in love since she was 9, and you are telling me she fell in love with who? Debs. I don't know if fell in love. We don't know if, I mean, maybe dating. Who said about being in love, though? Slow that roll. Tiana Rose said, lots of celebs are able to disappear. But _Brit_Wait said, critiques about the age gap doesn't equate to hate. Hate implies malice. 4KNK said, Bradley Cooper, 29-year age gap. Isis said she fed her to Lulu and yesterday she was discovered. Veronica said, how do we know what the people there thought? The reason I know is the person who filmed shared that. Now, you're right. I don't know if I can say people. I can say she shared her perception of what it was like being there. I guess she can't speak on behalf of the other people that were there. If there's other people there that were actually there that had a different take on it, I don't know if they have communicated or not. I mean, I'm not sure they want to. Seeing how people respond, they might want to keep it to themselves that they were there. Megan says stalking is learning about a person's location online and then going to that location to find them. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's valid. I mean, I think stalking is more prolonged, but typically in my head. But yeah, I would be unnerved if someone I didn't necessarily know tried to go. But it makes me go throw back though of how many fans would stay outside people's hotels with the hope that they would see them. So some of these behaviors existed even pre-social media. Deb says, I can't even comprehend what is happening, like nothing is sensing. 4KNK, so if men can do it, so can women. Good for Nick, LOL. Tam said, know how to be in stealth mode and incognito. Nicola has mentioned this. 13HCW said, the woman who apologized says she wasn't stalking them, just was going the same way. Coco said, I think she's just trying to protect him. It makes sense why she wants things deleted. She's private. Jan said, yes, just friends. Alexi Vo 80 said, if she didn't want the narrative, she wouldn't be bringing him everywhere. Nish says, Luke's got some amazing incognito skills to go unseen with a whole fandom crazy for a sighting. Carrie said, we will never know until she's ready to tell, and she probably never will be. Jan said, nobody should be speculating that. Caitlin Marie said, somebody found that guy's story and she went there to find her. That's stalking. K-Pet said, just say you're together and say you'd like your privacy. Memes Away said, I believe she is with him and wants to keep this relationship sacred. Ems said, is it not more that the location was given out in real time? That's what people are saying, Ems. I'm saying that just based off of what she actually posted, she said normalize not filming people, like not filming strangers in public. So if I was just to take her words, those specific words at face value, I'm saying it's the filming. But other people are adding the element of real-time posting, which I also agree with. It's just not something she explicitly stated in her in that statement. Let's see. Poker Kittens once said the boundary relates to strangers. She is the stranger. I do believe she is the stranger. I mean, maybe I need to reread the post, because I don't know. We seem to be reading it differently. So I'm like, I literally read it as her saying, "I'm a stranger to you. You're a stranger to me. Please don't film me." But I don't know if there's something else you're reading that I just happen to not read the same way. Jenny ZZZY said the hate Luke faced with an age gap she should be protecting. Oh, I read that already. Not. Anne said that ship has sailed, wanting privacy. She needs to get back to Bridgerton for that. CW2106 says both can be true, not want focus on her relationship while being in a relationship. Veronica said the fandom is much bigger after season 3, so whatever worked before isn't now. 100%. Betsy A says she's going to have a rude awakening soon. She's becoming A-list, not right, but comes with it. Poker Kitten 1 said, you are doing a great job moderating. Oh, thanks, Poker Kitten 1. Oh, wait. So like, moderating. Unless you're talking to somebody else, because I'm like, am I moderating? Or are you talking about the mods that are putting up my comments? Oh my word, I'm smelling food right now, and I'm so hungry. But I just really want to finish up reading everybody's comments. Betsy A said her life is changing and may need to reassess what she shares and how. Natalia said maybe she simply meant what she said. Don't film strangers in public. Oh, that's another possibility. It's that maybe she's not even just saying herself. She's saying, let's just not do it in general. Edie said it's too bad, though, because she's going to stop sharing with us now. Deb says, I have feelings about the age gap. I can't help it. Basic Witchcrafting said, I'm starting to think she isn't as PR smart as she thinks she is. This seems like basic protocol. Alexi Vo 80 said, I like how we can have different opinions on what we saw or think and no one is being nasty. I appreciate that too, because the reality is, like, I don't think anybody has like negative intention by seeing something differently than another person. It's just we literally have different histories and different filters to view the same thing. That's why I think we end up going, oh, you saw that? I didn't see that. Like, explain to me how you saw that, blah, blah, blah. You just learn from each other. Blessed Mom 2 said, I think security is going to become a need, especially in the U.S. M. Phillips says, baseball caps, nondescript dress, in and out, low profile, unless you're prepared for the spectacle. Donna DMC, the more famous a person becomes, the more interested people are in your public and private life. Shelly Mrs. T said, I just hope they are both happy and can only hope maybe they are still Endgame. I always feel like Endgame is on the table still. Bombshell Baby 22 said, Luke's probably sad on his BRB. Sad? Jan said someone posted while they were in the theater. Jill Finn 77 says she's been so open in other areas. It makes it hard to keep this private. I feel for her. Sam said that person knew her location to begin with in real time. Kim said she was just excited seeing her and didn't think. Bombshell Baby 22 said, guys, we are human. We do better after we realize maybe it's not the right thing to do. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the minute we were made aware that we've made a mistake, all we can do is own it, you know? That's all we can do. Like, that's all we can do, honestly. I mean, maybe some people think we can do more, but at the very least, take ownership, you know, and apologize. Jenny ZZZY said perhaps she was going to launch at times 100 and this outed early and most comments weren't expected. K-Pat said I don't think she expected to get caught. It backfired. Kim said the person who filmed said there was no chase, that she was walking the same way to take train. JC said, well, I'm pretty sure she won't be sharing much on social media, only work. Sad has come to this. Katie said surely she would have known if not filming her would have been a picture of them holding hands. Oh, yeah. So you're saying even if they didn't film, there would be pictures of them holding hands either way. I hear that. Shelly said, I just hope that she still shares for us all. Amy said, I know this has been said, but Nicola is aware of the fandom's feelings, and why are they posting things that lead us on? She's chronically online. Caitlin Marie said she wasn't even tagged, though, so they had to be looking pretty hard for her name. Well, I think they said Nicola, or maybe they just said Nick. Oh, so I don't actually remember, but I know I could tell that it was Nicola Coughlan. So I feel like even though they didn't tag her in the body, it had her name. At least the one I saw. I don't know if there's another one that did not have her name, but the one I saw had her name. K-Girl said, bye for now. Have a great rest of your life. I know you're not here anymore, K-Girl, but thanks. Rena said, how was she not prepared when she literally saw her co-star being papped all summer? You know, great question. I don't know, Rena. Great question. I don't know. Brittany said, is there a new photo out? Not that I know of. And Philip said, watching Lady got me dead. Malali said, she's too popular now. I don't think it has sunk in yet. She probably thought she's nobody in New York. Lauren said, maybe she was already off because people started noticing her in the theater. Ren S.A. said, maybe Lukey's hiding in hotel. Alexi Vo 80 said, Cressida now doubling. Malali said, A is quiet. That's not like her, LOL. Fave_Rav said, I mean, Luke is very good at keeping his head down. Oh, wait, no, I read that already. NNNNLINNNN said, maybe a real hard launch at time 100. Shelly said, when I've gone out with friends, I've held my gay friend's hand to keep up with the walking. LOL. Jill Finch said, everyone in New York wears neutrals and black. LOL. She definitely wasn't hidden well in that red dress. May not have been hidden well, but so cute. I love that dress on her. Alexi Vo 80 said, and he wasn't even wearing a hat. They weren't trying to hide. Sunny D says, she's worn black and white at almost all other public events. Bright, bright, bright red here. Red here. Basic Witchcrafting said, it was a great dress, but you wear that to get noticed. I mean, red does make people stop and notice. Jazzy21 says, has she lost any followers on IG? I don't follow that stuff, so I have no idea. But someone told me that she did in my comment section. Yasmin said, I think she is not precisely aware of how famous she got. She needs time for adjustment. Mary, hopefully this translation works. The translation says, and it turns out that sometimes people should dress the way other people want them to dress. That's stupid. Hopefully that was a correct translation because I had to translate it. Jill Finn 77 says she, oh wait, no, I read that already. Taryn Ray said celebs are allowed to have privacy and refuse to take pics and autographs, etc. Haley said, yeah, but this extra stuff includes TikToks like this too. Let's be honest. JC said, I wonder what she will do Wednesday. Will she go? Oh, wait, I read that already. Okay, all these were read already. Mel said, acting is the dream and career. Paps and craziness is the consequence. 100%, Mel. 100%. Alexandria said, if they want to keep privacy, they need to keep their PR controlled. Taryn Ray says she's also used to the UK, where they seem to have more freedom among celebs. Alexandria said, can't play the game all summer and then get upset that they get papped. Roxy said, I feel Nick's statement is clear, but incomplete. Yeah, samesies. I do feel like there's portions of it that's clear, but it definitely has some gaps that need to be filled a little bit to understand it fully. Virginie said, maybe she expected her fans to be as respectful of her as she has been with them. Helen79 said, unless it comes directly from Nicola and Luke, we shouldn't assume what is going on in their private lives. Alexandria said these actors keep their private lives off social media. Taryn Ray said we are allowed to change our minds. JC said, funny as Louisa joked about how young he was in a press interview for their show. Alex Fucana 4D said, I don't think that will happen. She's all business. Alexi Vo 80 said, dating within a close friend group is crazy too. He's young. Chances of it lasting are not high. Shelley said, in the UK, a lot of celebs get left to do their own things and tend to get more privacy. The Greenbird Brigade said Jim Carrey did. He left for a few reasons, but the main one was wanting privacy. Veronica said, wait till kids are thrown into the picture. Ay, Veronica, hopefully not, right? Ginny said, here in Ireland and even in London, Nicola would not be treated by fans like this. Nona said, why do they give us breadcrumbs if they don't want us to investigate? Jen R said, hi guys, what did I miss? LOL. Hopefully you heard some of the things that you had missed, Jen R. Haley said, let's be honest, this extra stuff includes TikToks like this too. How is this not invasive? Great question, Haley. I don't know. Do you feel comfortable being in this space? Because I think that's the conscience that people have to have. Like, what feels invasive to you? I don't think that this live is invasive. But if there's anything in your own spirit that feels like this live would be invasive, I just highly suggest that, like, you go with your gut and do what you think is right for you. H. Manley said, Luke's in Ireland crying on Nick's mom's shoulder. Alexivo 80, no, I would have never shared anything, LOL. Okay. Tam said, I wouldn't waste my time recording without consent. I'd rather ask her for a picture. Alexandria said, the problem is that as millennials, they are used to sharing all on social media. They think they can. Yeah, I think sometimes we just forget how large the internet is and how it goes. Tiana Rose said, all would have been avoided if they both went into the tour saying, oh wait, I read that already. Rosario said that video really did disappear. I can't help but be proud of the fandom right now. I'm sure it's out there, but hard to find. Milali said, so we are not getting a selfie for season 4. I think we would. I do still think that we would. Anfontisella said, why do they have to tell us about the relationship status that is their private life? I mean, again, it comes back down to nobody has to. The have is not, nobody has to. But to expect that people won't speculate, I guess it's the question of, like, it sucks that people speculate, but it's also human nature. to speculate. And so if they don't want people to speculate, it's just much easier to kibosh it. And just say, like, I know y'all have been speculating, this is it. They don't have to. But if they don't mind this, if they're bothered by the speculation, it's much easier to kibosh it with a statement than it is to allow the speculation to continue to happen. Again, not because they have to, not because they owe anybody anything, but if they're irritated by it, it just helps kibosh things much faster. Alux Few Can 40 said, right, people are acting like there's not a talking face for celebs. Jill Finn 77, I wonder if they are new or she's not certain of longevity, so she doesn't want it public. Jen R said, do we think Nicola is actually with Jake or no? My answer is I don't know. I lean more towards probably, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So I think for folks, it feels like if he's around all the time, then there must be something. But again, because she hasn't said one way or the other, I really don't know if that's speculations all around. Steph G said, I still think the hand holding was out of security. Nona said, now the ring has been moved to the right hand. Does this mean Nick is engaged to someone? Isn't it the left hand that's an engagement? Or am I wrong? Or did I read your comment incorrectly? Malali said, also Nick will probably post one picture and she's out on social. She will be distant now. Stick says, I don't think fans were crazy. We were gaslit by all the behavior on tour. I don't know if we were even gaslit. I just think that, we saw what we saw and they just may have not chosen to act on whatever we saw. Ronnie said, girl, you've been on for a minute. I know. I don't know how long I've been on, Ronnie. I've just been trying to read people's messages. And I'm trying to hit the place where there's no more messages to read. And I just haven't hit that point. Jen R said, yeah, I'm really thrown with the hand holding. It seemed friendly, but who knows? LOL. Samra said, can I ask what's the difference between the music festival pics and NYC? I think it is, one was a photo and the other was a video. That's the only thing I can guess. Genuinely, that's the only thing I can guess. Because in the post that she did, she mentions explicitly filming. Coco said, ew, we are not entitled to them. That's a gross line of thinking. Coco said they're just doing their jobs. Stick says she encouraged the shipping explicitly, said it was flattering. I mean, I think it probably was flattering at that time. I think it really got away from maybe what she was commenting on originally. It became its own, like, beast. Edie said, I told my daughter last night and she says hand holding means nothing anymore. Teens hold hands with friends. But is she a teenager? Is that how Nicola thinks? Rita said, I left for work twice and came back and we are still live. Just like the good old days. That's what I get for being off work, which, mind you, I just remembered. Once I finish reading all of y'all's comments, I gotta watch Dawson's Creek because I'm doing the Dawson's Creek live tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for episodes 3 and 4. So... Home with Valentina said, I think Luke said a few lines in the world tour confirming it was PR and what the fans wanted to see. I can think of probably 2 lines that I'm thinking that you're probably thinking about. When he jokingly said, oh, they're going to love this. I don't know if that meant that he was confirming. Well, I don't know if that was a confirmation of PR more than just recognizing that he understands the fan base would enjoy seeing that. But I think the one that was more so was like in the beginning of the tour, there was probably a little bit more distance language between them. Is what I'm thinking you're talking about. Maybe not. That's my only speculation. M. Fontesiella said, we have created this mess by picking apart everything and creating our own scenarios. Lala 1083 said, make it make sense. Basic Witchcrafting said, if my face was in Times Square, I would absolutely expect people to recognize me while in NYC. Kate on the Boat said, they love each other and okay, not together. They don't owe us anything. We created the narrative. Jen R said, it felt like a supportive hand-holding. She didn't seem stressed. I'm not sure I see love, though. And 1417 said, is this a regular occurrence in the U.S.? And I believe it actually is. Nona said, why leave a picture that is with a with suitcases, then expect us not to try and it cuts off. Basic Witchcrafting said, if it wasn't a fan, it would have been a pap. So are they okay to photograph her in literal public? Isis says, unfortunately, she fed her Delulu a few times. Edie said, I live in New York City and have many famous peeps in my neighborhood. Next door alone are many. Never pics. Bev says, Luke has gone under the radar again. Sanibel said, saw somewhere that they were walking very briskly away and versions were slowed down to look chummy. Oh, you're okay. Interesting. Really? How do we know that? Because the first version, I think the only person that can confirm whether this is true is Pollen's Season, who's the one who posted the original. About, like, if she posted the original, she can say whether that was sped up or not, or slowed down or not. Because the original version is the one that would, like, you know, because the version I saw didn't seem like it was slowed down, honestly. It looked like a cat, like, you know how, like, when you slow down something, it looks slowed down? Or when you speed something up, it looks sped up? Like, mine looked like they were really just genuinely walking normally. Styx says, I'm also starting to disengage, which might be a good thing, actually. Probably is. I mean, I think sometimes all of us need that moment to just kind of disengage. Dee Dee said, did Luke say anything yet? No, he has not been back yet. Whew, okay. Jill Finn 77 said it was out of character for sure. Cassie said the secretive makes people want to know even more. Melissa said, since Luke has been using his IG for work-related posts, I'm hoping his luggage post was for a project/work. Brittany said, all the tags from the night before are all there still, so I don't think her and her team, and it cuts off. Jen R said, I'm just annoyed in general, LOL. Can they just get together and make us happy, LOL? Jen. Well, I mean, I think the most important thing is that they're happy, right? Whether we're happy or not is not as important in their lives as them being happy with whomever they choose to be happy with at the end of the day. But I love the sentiment. I find it amusing. Cassie said, and people are all in different time zones to have removed them around the same time. That's a good point, Cassie. This is why I have a hard time believing that it was only the fans that did it out of the goodness of their hearts to remove those tags. It was too methodical to not have been something that the team itself tried to work very hard to get removed. I'm not saying that there weren't fans that removed it on their own volition. I'm just saying how methodical it was removed. And how complete it was removed. Feels like that's more than just out of the goodness of the kindness of people's hearts. And Philip says, agreed. Phoebe, those tags are gone. How complete it is makes me think interference. Absolutely 100%. I've just seen too many times, there's always people who will refuse to remove tags. So to have everybody choose actively at the same time to remove tags, highly suspicious. Jenny ZZZ1Y said she will post on Wednesday, so there is that. I read that already. I remembered. Six said it kind of all goes together. Fan of them and their work, and I think they understood that when it was in their favor. Fave underscore Rav said, I'll be holding my breath until Wednesday night. Thursday morning for me. Veronica said, trying to lose shipper fans is probably the goal. I'm still there, though. Erica said, I think Nick expected for this level of hype to die down by now. Cassie said, without a statement, people will assume and speculate. No room for speculation if it's addressed. Vorney B said, let's face it, she's definitely not going to take Luke on Wednesday. Sanibel says, Nick tends to hold hands or arms when she's walking in high heels and platforms to keep her balance. Jenny said, I totally believe it was sent to that publication I will not utter the name of. I mean, possibly, but I just don't think it was sent by the person who apologized. But maybe. I mean, if they're here, they can confirm or deny that. But I just think that somebody saw it and sent it to them. I mean, there could be a million people who alerts, because I constantly get emails letting me know about stuff, you know, and I'm like, I'm not a publication. Jenny ZZZY said they could have, even by saying we are not in a relationship with each other. Very true. Oops. Jill Finn 77 said, I just hope she's getting to enjoy the rest of her time in NYC. Wishing her the best. Fav underscore Rav says she's not perfect. She doesn't like goat cheese. I have never had goat cheese. Is goat cheese supposed to be good? Cassie said, celebrities and idols will disappoint you. I mean, they're a human being. Every human being will disappoint you. Even when they're not trying to. I will disappoint. You will disappoint. Everybody will disappoint. And I think that's why we need everybody to have grace for each other, you know, at the end of the day, because nobody's trying to hurt other people. Very few people are actively trying to hurt or harm people. You know what I mean? It's very few people that really has that kind of mentality. Or maybe that's my idealistic Pollyanna way of living life, and I just don't assume people have ill intent most of the time. I'm not jaded by that. And then I encounter people that definitely don't have the kindness of motives, and then I'm like shocked, because I just can't imagine living life with that kind of like way of like wanting to harm other people. K-Pat said, doubt it, but I think it would help. Brittany said they should make a statement, but I feel like they won't. Diana said they are liking each other's posts immediately. And now this, I think we should accept and ship if you... And then it stopped there. Jen R said, people just want Lucala together no matter what. So we believe what suits this. LOL. At least that's self-awareness there, Jen R. Stick says, this may be controversial, but I don't think a 24-year-old is a good look, even though I really like her. I mean, it's controversial to those that may disagree, right? Like, I'm of the same mindset, but I also recognize that people don't feel the same way. So I leave space for the fact that people feel very differently about that topic. All of us just have opinions, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's her life, and he is of age. Bombshell Baby 22 said they never came out and said, nope, it's not an option. It was always open-ended. And I think it was open-ended for a reason. I think maybe it was open-ended even for themselves, you know? Stick says they have to know lots of tourists are there who will film. Jen R said, I think they should have expected this fandom reaction, though, with those story posts one after the other. Diana, you finished your thought, but I had forgotten what you wrote originally. But the ending of your last comment was, ship if you want, they don't care. Okay. Jen said, Getty Images posted here first on public account. Alexi Vo 80 said it was what was filmed. Edie said, I believe it's because she was live and put in danger. She was live? The person was live? What do you mean? Alexi Vo 80 said, so it would have been okay with pics of them holding hands? I don't know, but She explicitly just said filming, so I'm not quite sure. Edie said, I have famous actors living by me and we never pap them. They enjoy the privacy. Our neighborhood. Something, something. It cut off. Stick says, a private moment is like changing in a locker room, not walking down the street outside. Edie said, New Yorkers don't do that. Tourists do. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Okay, New Yorkers don't do that, but tourists do. I wonder if is pollen season a tourist? Again, I don't pollen season is probably long gone now. It's been a long live. Diana June said, I think she may move and use her account for business now. Lesson learned. Kristen said, exactly. I'm tired of people thinking paps are everywhere in NYC. They are not. Celebs are left alone. Typically. Rena said, will you upload this? I'll be back on my lunch break. Rena, I will try because I don't know how long this live has been. So I don't know how long it would take to upload this live. But yeah, if, depending on when I'm done reading everybody's comment. Yeah, I probably will try to. Viceroy Vicky said, ultimately, she's saying her life isn't the entertainment. I like that, Viceroy. True. And Philip said, romancing Mr. Bridgerton, the book. Okay. Oh, R&B. Oh, my word. How long ago did I ask about what R&B was? Dang, I really am so far behind. Edie says she purposely walked over, but not expecting to see them. I mean, she may have purposely walked over hoping she would get to see them, but didn't know if she was going to see them for sure. Maybe. I don't know. Lala1083 said, if they didn't want people to see them hold hands, then why hold hands? It's NYC for crying out loud. Carla said, it's all in the apology. Alex Few Can 40 said, we don't know and it doesn't matter. Stick said she saw the real-time post and went to the theater. Anne said, no, she said she went there because someone had posted that Nick was there. Ida Pita said, no, she said she went there specifically to see them because she was close by. And then did see them. Okay. Oh, Edie said, I think being recorded and posted live so people would know where she was. Oh, gotcha. Miv Rose said, no, she said someone posted on that other platform. She might have been at the theater, so she decided to see. Kristen says she held hands with Luke, too. Didn't mean they were dating. I still stand by that. I mean, the reason I always stand by that interview is she said while walking, and I never saw that with Luke. I never saw them walk, holding hands. I saw them stand holding hands, which I think was different. Anne says she was out with friends near the theater. Okay. Kristen said, no, they can't clarify. It just fuels the fire. Let it die. It's for the best. Diana June said she's an actor. They get paid to make us believe untrue stories. Edie said, I believe Nick has said how she felt. No need to question her feelings. Margie Beck said, between the rings and the Polaroid, she fed the frenzy. Kristen said she filmed it intentionally. She went to find her. Hi, Simone 14. Jill Finn 77 said, Luke and Nicola's private lives have really been made into a spectacle. It must get old for them. Stick says, I bet the next leads of the show are going to play it very carefully as a result of all this. Probably. Kristen said, why is it unnecessary to meet family? I don't think it's unnecessary. I think some other people felt like it maybe gave them hope that there was something more because, you know, meet the family. It has a romantic undertone to it. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it can give that impression, right? Maybe that's what they meant. Erica said, did anyone see them holding hands? Who them? Nicola and Jake? Because if you're asking about Nicola and Jake, yes. Marcella said, from what I remember, Jade had made a comment on a pollen moment, then backlash happened. And Philip says, and I think it was sedate, quiet shipping, more pollen focused. Shelly said, does anyone feel like we are being played sometimes as a fandom? There are some folks who feel that way, Shelly. I genuinely, I'm of the mindset that they're not playing with the fandom. But I can understand why people may feel that way. Later, Mel, even though, again, you're probably long gone because I'm way behind. I still have 99 plus new messages here. Fav_Rav said, do you think Nicola and Luke will change their behavior together in future Bridgerton press? Probably. I think that will be less like them than what we saw in the World Tour. I think what we saw in the World Tour is how they would act. But because it got too out of control, they probably have to mute it a lot more now. Shelly said, like dropping stories that they know are going to be eluded. Edie said, Nicola and Jade were strangers for the one filming. Styx says, become detectives. Edie said, it was clear, don't film people you don't know, it's creepy. Kristen said she knew photographers were outside the movie screening. She didn't know she was filmed Sunday. Cassie says his hands were all up in his pockets. It didn't look like anything. Edie said, agree on the difference, Phoebe. She was at the play as a private entity and not on business hours. Veronica said, my sister works in Manhattan. She said, you see celebrities everywhere. It's a norm. Rashilla said, nah, I'm sure she referred to that video. It's definitely circulating quite quickly. Anne said, walking in the same direction, filming her? Really? I mean, genuinely, it is possible. Like, it is genuinely possible. If she was just walking that direction and she happened to be in front, I mean, it is still possible that she just was genuinely walking the same direction. But I can understand your what's the word? Like hesitation to believe. Shelly said, like, what other show that's a season has ended are we still talking about? They know that. That's true. Roxy said there was also a video at the A24 event. Oh, was there? I don't think I ever saw that one. But again, work related. Rochilla said, I think it's right for her to react the way she did. We still shouldn't normalize filming people. Edie said, we have celebs walk my block's Halloween party and never a problem for them. Shelly said, feels like they are dropping these stories to keep us interested. Simone 14 said, I'm still not totally convinced a relationship got out. Just saying. Hope she had a great time. Fave_Rav said, but did they really untag or did the creators untag and remove their content and tags? I still stand by that idea that it's both. There's some people that probably did choose to remove their tags, their content and tags, but it was too methodical for me to not believe that there wasn't some decision from the team itself to make sure that it was kiboshed as quickly as possible. Rochilla said, wait, what age gap? The age gap that exists between Nicola and Jake. Andy K said, there is a 12-year difference between my sis and her spouse and 18 between my bro and his. Who cares? Cassie said, also age gaps aren't necessarily bad, but something about 20. Still a lot of growth during this time. That's where I fall, Cassie. That's my personal take myself. Okay, I don't have an issue with age gaps more than when the age gap happens. At the end of the day, though, they are technically of age legally. And so, you know, I understand people being like, you know, and it's also just a personal take, you know, and just a personal take is in regards to what you will choose to do as a person. You can't really, like, so I really can't dictate to them what their choices are. It just says what my choice would be if I was in the same situation. Hopefully. I mean, hopefully, because definitely somebody in their 20s should be out of my my options at my age. That's for sure. Nash LF said Nicola could have gone out the back and she was wearing a bright red dress. I'm confused. Veronica said, honestly, if I found out one of my favorite people was 2 blocks away, I'd go. Fan versus stalking. Foy's Journal said, love you, Nick, but you are not a stranger at this point. I mean, but she is, though, Foy's Journal, in the sense of like I know that you know her, but like she doesn't know, she wouldn't know you. Like, so it's still a stranger situation. You know what I mean? Pickle said, I'm just sad that we might not get to see photos of her anymore. We'll miss her. Stephanie said, do we have any new updates since her story last night? I do not. There might be other folks that may have it. Natalie B. said, being filmed comes with being known, but why should that be normal? Isn't that next message? I think that's part of it, yeah. Sarah said, I'm scared she's going to ghost us all now. Maria Lola said she is famous now. She's taking the guy with her everywhere, so things like this are going to happen. Cassie said, I feel she posted that for a reason. That was a targeted message. Rusty said, but filming in public isn't illegal. It is immoral, but it is not illegal. Jess is Simona said, creative people are touchy-feely. Av says, social media is the new form of news and quote-unquote journalism, unfortunately. Jess is Simona said, doesn't always mean there's romantic love there. I've been a historical reenactor, maybe. Glenda said, I will always believe Endgame too. Simone 14 said, I agree that all we can do is own our mistakes and learn from it. Av said, we have no idea the state of the poor fans' mental health after this. Am said, why do I picture Luke with I think that's like some sort of alcoholic drink, maybe, reading about people looking at his BRB message and laughing at us. Cassie said her whole name was posted. Whose whole name was posted? The person? User with a lot of numbers right behind it said, yet they posted our room full of strangers at the chapel concert. I think the difference with that user with a lot of numbers right behind it is those strangers were not the focus, and they were the focus of that video. Because sometimes I may film something because I'm like excited about something. It's not the people. The people are actually ruining my photo or my video by being there. But I have to film like what I actually want. And she's not filming the strangers. She's filming Chapel Roan. So like the point weren't the strangers versus that video. The point was her. The point was her and Jake. And I think that's what the big difference was. Hi, Newtonic. Just as Simona said, sorry, I'm in my car. Historical reenactors are touchy-feely with friends, too. Retired teacher said the new photo is Nick with a fan. Melissa said, I think Nick was tagged on some of the reposted pics videos on other accounts. Fav_Rav said, just wanted to say I love your lives, Phoebe. I hope you continue them as long as you're happy to. Oh, thanks, Fav_Rav. Calagirl_1980 said, she was in New York for part 1 release. Wouldn't that have prepared her team for this visit? Just curious. Yeah, I don't know. Claire said, perhaps she doesn't think it is acceptable to film strangers in public. Oh, good point. So, like, the New York for part 1 release is work related. Again, I think that blurring of lines where people seem to have a hard differentiation around like what is work related, which has consent for filming versus things that are private moments. Av said, problem is that Nick has been so evasive about Luke. That backfired. Rusty said it's only invasive if it's offensive, and this isn't. Is it only invasive if it's offensive? I have to think about that, because I don't know if I agree with that. I have to think about that, Rusty. Is it only invasive if it's offensive? I'll have to think about that because I don't know if that's true. I mean, oh well, I mean, obviously, like you're not asking to evaluate whether your statement you. So let me rethink what I'm saying here. I just wonder, like there could be very benign things in our mind, but it's still invasive. Like for example, like if somebody shared baby news or wedding news before the couple were allowed to do it themselves. I guess that's offensive, but I mean, but some people might think, oh, like it's happy news. So I don't know. Let me think about what you said. Is it only invasive if it's offensive? Southern Girl said, only in America where fans feel entitled to celebs' private lives. It's insane. Veronica said, Luke's not alone. Did you see all that luggage? Yeah, I didn't think Luke's alone either because that's a lot of luggage for a man. To be right back. It doesn't sound like you're going to be gone that long, so why have all that luggage? Sandy said, I do feel bad for Nick's mom. She must be feeling sad. I want Guinness said, did you see the statement of the fan who took the video? I did. And also the fan was in the chat earlier in this live to discuss it a little bit. Whitwoke P32 said, I think it happened. She gave her boundary and time to move on. Diana Ju said, I went to Scotland for 2 weeks, took less luggage than Luke, LOL. Ida Pita said, I think they're together. Who's they? Ida Pita. Nash LF said, it all feels a little weird. Trixie said, I think her silence and even Luke's silence about their respective relationship has backfired. Nikki 570 said, truthfully, I say no. I wish I knew what the context was there. Or unless you're saying like you don't think they are in a relationship, maybe that's what you're saying. I want Guinness says their fingers were interlocked in the video too. I think that's a big hint that they're together. Trixie says silence starts to speak. Nash LF said it's seemingly like they are together. In the 1 second video, they were not holding hands. Nash LF said the one where they had moved away from the theater. Minaj says you are not going to hit that point, LOL. Are you talking about I'm never going to hit the point where there's no more comments? It's starting to feel like it, to be honest, if that's the case, because it's still 99 plus new messages I have right now. Shelly said it's more intimate. Jill Finn 77, there's 760 people in here. When? LOL. I've never had 760 people in here. Maybe like at different points. Because I think the highest I've ever had was like 200 something. I don't think there was 760 unless I never looked up when it was that high. I don't think it was. Marianne said, LOL, can't believe you're still live. I can't believe I'm still live, Marianne. I can't believe I'm still live. This happens because I want to read everybody's comments, and there's just still a lot more comments coming in, I guess, because it still says 99 plus new messages. Now, if I am so behind that it clears everybody's comments out, that's the only way, I guess. I'll miss a lot of comments. JMO613 said, in Ireland, Luke made a comment about how it was good they captured Nick's tears about the tour ending. The Greenbird Brigade said, he said in one interview that people shipping them meant they did their job well. It was early in world tour. Stella said, I think I heard that a lot of bad things came out about Nick on Twitter yesterday after the video. Rusty said, original what? The video I saw wasn't sped up. I don't think this video I saw was sped up either or slowed down. It was just regular. Av said, they looked like they were walking at a pace that anyone would in a busy city. Rusty said, maybe his flights were canceled and he's stuck in an airport. Charlie said, oh, I'm sure her team had a lot to do with it. The Greenbird Brigade said, I don't think it was only the fans. Some were, but some weren't. And obviously, that publication wasn't. Annie said, I'm still seeing it in some places. Ida Pita said, I definitely think it was her team because her tags were removed originally and not his. Now both are removed. Fab_Rav said, on second thought, I won't be back. Minaj says, what's on Wednesday? The time 100. Shelly says she was not wearing heels. She wasn't wearing heels, but she was wearing pretty chunky high shoes a little bit. But it was definitely not heels. The Greenberg Brigade said, or they just saw it. It was everywhere in minutes. Lala 1083 said, I'm not this invested in my own family. What is wrong with me? Claire said, do you think Luke is there to give Nick an award as a surprise? I don't know about that. Veronica said, some people think Luke was at the event last week. He might go Wednesday incognito. MAIE 35 said she was wearing her platform Prada shoes. The Greenberg Brigade said goat cheese is amazing. Ida Pita said goat cheese is delicious. Jess said goat cheese is not good. I agree with her. LOL. Minaj says, you know what I find interesting? Luke and Nicola are good, great friends, but never hang out outside of work. Minaj, I actually don't believe that is true because they've said things in like casually that tell me that they do hang out. What I think you're saying is they've never been pictured outside, which is very different than not hanging out outside. I do think they've hung out outside, just not like in places where they would be pictured. So talk about privacy. I think they have kept their friendship private in a lot of ways, and only a few times have chosen to go out publicly together. But when they've done interviews, they have casually mentioned things. Like one of the biggest ones that somebody mentioned was when she casually talked about him being at Christmas with them. So that's what I think about. But that's not the only things. There were just other casual statements that they would make that gave you the impression that they actually hung out with each other. We just don't see it. Which makes me think they are protective of their friendship. Rusty said, I think the tourist comment is a bit of a sweeping generalization. Edie said, are you just now reading that message? Yes. Edie said, scroll. This is flashback from last night. I know. I'm very behind. That's why I'm happy that I had mods who put some posts like for me to read. That's from like further down. Edie said, Phoebe, scroll. I have PTSD from last night. She'll read me in another hour. I probably am. Am I another hour here? Probably. Shelly said, why stare into each other's eyes and play these games in the world tour? That's the thing, though. I really don't think those were games. I think that's just how they related. Honestly, genuinely. Shelly said, this other Shelly in the live is throwing me off. Like, did I say that? Sorry, Shelly. I guess I should say the longer name, but I just started just saying first parts of people's names. Edie said, Bowral in TV asked if there's something going on, and Luke says he doesn't get involved with coworker. Yes, I think that's probably one. Oh, the other Shelly said haha to the other Shelly. Mackie Rach says, was there footage of their faces? Yes. There was, I don't know if there was footage. I didn't see that if there was footage, but I did see a photo that showed that was them. Shelly said, it's me, hi. I'm the problem, it's me. To the other Shelly. Okay, I think people are giving me grace because like I finally hit a place where it's like not 99 plus new messages. It's like 63 new messages. So I think people are like, Phoebe's been on for a really long time. I don't know how long I've been on, y'all. How long have I been on? I have no idea. Shelly says she already was ghosting. Mackie Rach says, I'm scared she's gonna totally pull back on sharing now. Shelly says she's gonna know this would happen if she's walking hand in hand with a guy. We were linking her. 3 hours, K-Girl? Oh my word. And the funny thing is, I think I started this live saying, I think this is going to be a short one. Depends on how long it'll take for me to read all your comments. I laugh at me. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I don't know. I'm off work, so it's much easier. Like if I had to be at work, like I wouldn't be so leisure about it. Jill Finn said, we need an emergency alert button for Phoebe when there's news and she's on Rusty said, I meant your chat. That's what it was. Edie said, if it's in a private moment or setting, it is invasive. Emily said, the difference with the premiere is they had an entourage security to some degree, not her alone. User with a lot of numbers right behind said, the problem is she's now considered a public figure. Rusty said, someone said that the lives were invasive. I was replying to that. Oh, gotcha. Shelly said, invasive if there is truth. Edie said he packed his game council. Oh, Kim said, does anyone know when Nick and Luke start filming themselves? I'm not quite sure. I was under the impression that they would have already started by now, but maybe not. Edie said 99 messages. Scroll or it will clear again. Edie said 197 now. How do y'all see that? I only see 99 plus new messages. I've never have an actual number of how many the messages are. Just 99 plus. Edie said, everyone stop writing. Kat said, haha, we're still here. Kim said, platform sandals. I don't think so about Luke. Show Me said, that's because we don't see them. Don't mean they aren't. I agree. Jenny said, I think Nicola may skip the time when... Oh, Nicola. Luke may skip the Time 100 event, respectfully, because that night should be about her, not them. Or if he goes, that it would be incognito. You know what I mean? Edie said maybe like 20 minutes now. Foxy said, just joined. Anything new? Oh, Foxy. It's been like 3 hours in, apparently. So, all I can say is I will try to upload this on YouTube and you can you can watch that if you want to. I don't know. Jenny said, I don't know. That's just what I think. We'll see. Stella said, where can we see the Time 100? I know K-Girl put something on her page to say where you can see it and all that stuff. So Foxy said, what's happening? Just conversations around the video yesterday. Show Me said footage of them leaving, frontal shot. So yes, it's them. Shelly said, oh, Luke said he doesn't get involved with coworkers, but he has done that before. That's actually true. That's actually true. His first real public relationship was with his co-star on Disney. Edie says she almost caught up. No more writing. And Philip says, yay, she's almost caught up. Pink Butterfly said, I don't like that people share their locations. It is not safe. 100% agree, Pink Butterfly. It is not safe. It's very highly suggested that you never share your location. That's why sometimes when TikTok's like, do you want to share your location? I'm like, no. Whitwell P32 said, how could Luke be there in New York City? He would be so jealous to see her holding guys' hands with any guy. Professionally. Edie said, you made it. K-Girl said, ABC or Hulu. Fab Rav said, she did it. Go, Phoebe. Thanks. Thanks, y'all. I'm hungry. So I'm going to go. Pink Butterfly said, Nick needs to know she's on the level of Taylor and get bodyguard. I agree. Oh, Edie, you're celebrating me getting done reading everybody's message. Thanks, y'all. I am so hungry. Have a great day. I'll try to upload this at some point. Bye.